It's time for a Shui Media podcast.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in the show do not necessarily reflect those of Shui Media or any subsidiaries. The program may contain strong language not suitable for young audiences. Series discussions will contain spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy the show!
Hello and welcome to Dubterfuge. I'm Matt.
I'm Luna.
And today we have a guest with us. Who do we have with us again?
We have Giancarlo Navas from Subtitled Anime, a YouTube channel / shit-posting Twitter account.
Welcome to the weirdness.
Also, probably the biggest UFO fan outside of, like, Japan, maybe.
Under the scope, he brings it. You know, under the scope, he and I are fighting for and the pedantic romantic. Lachlan she loves UFO tons, so it's like the three of us. We're fighting. We're fighting for the top spot. We want to be top UFO star.
Everyone's got to have a goal, you know.
Well,
that's how we go.
Whoever reaches position 0, I guess.
UFO's position 0 in our hearts.
Oh man, I think I actually posted this on Twitter. I found the most amazing, like, cover of, it's like a collaboration between, this guy, who plays the saxophone. He used to be Sax Art online. I forget what his handle is now, but anyway, it's like him and a UFO player, and they're playing, Take Me to the Star, and it's great.
You linked me to it, right? Was it you?
Mm-hmm.
The three of us. Actually, the three I mentioned. Lachlan, Jack, and I.
Yeah, it was like the coolest thing I've ever heard.
That was wonderful. That song is so good. That's like one of my... That's probably my top 3 EDs of the year. The song is so good, and I love how they have different people singing and how each episode, it just means so much. The like how the characters sing it and why it's great. I love it.
Don't the positions of the girls, like, as the camera's panning down, don't they all change, like, depending on who won that day?
No, well, at the end, I know that whoever sang it is the one that's shown at the end, or the pair that's shown at the end. The one that the big panning down, it's actually pretty cool because Maya and Claudine, who are the two top of the class, are at the very top. Yeah. And then it goes down, and then before, a big thing happens, Banana is claiming position 0, so it's like a very cool looking kind of like cryptic type thing, and then Karen and Hikari are at the bottom. It's like really awesome and beautiful. I love it.
I feel a little left out, but I also want to clarify that Sound UFO is not the show we're talking about today.
No, that will come much later.
It will come up
because I still have to watch it, and I would just like sign off. I'm sure I've just alienated the rest of the people here, so...
It's okay. It's okay. So what we are talking about, though, is our favorites of the year. Even though the year's not quite over, but it's over enough.
Over enough. I mean, we're at the point that I think that things are mostly solidified, and anything that changes is minor. I don't think anything seismic is going to shift in anybody's rankings or favorites.
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
I mean, we're on episode like 10 of a lot of the seasonals from this year already. So I mean, we're almost done here.
All I'm saying is now just watch us eat our words like next week.
Oh, of course, yeah. And I haven't seen anything from this week, so anything that aired from Sunday to today, I have not seen at all. I've been working on my 12 days of anime videos, so I have no idea what the hell is going on. I have every tag muted. I'm scared of everything.
I think I've caught up on like maybe like 1 or 2 shows, and that's about it.
Gridman might be the only thing that I'm caught up in.
I'm caught up in just about all the stuff I'm watching, so
bless you.
Yeah, I think I'm almost caught up with Run with the Wind. I'm really behind on Tsurune.
I'm an episode behind on that one. I didn't watch that.
I have caught up on Zombieland Saga. Like, that's like the one show I've been really, really good about following every week because I have to.
I love it too. And can we all agree Saki is best girl?
Yes.
I don't know. I change every week. So at first I loved Saki, and then I liked Saki for a while, and then I don't even know her name, but the old Japanese woman who was like,
oh yeah,
I don't know her name,
Stephanie
but she's
Young's
really
character. Cool. What's her face?
Yeah.
Yuko.
I don't remember. Yeah,
Yuko?
Is it
Yuko.
Is it Yuko?
Yuko. She sounds like a Yuko. Is she voiced? I don't know if you guys seen Rakugo Shinju, and I haven't checked, but she sounds like Miyokuchi. Like, she has the same kind of voice. So I don't know if it's the same seiyuu or what, but she...
That would be a really interesting parallel, considering
this is a very...
the nature of those two particular women. I'm trying not to give a whole bunch of stuff away, but that would be really interesting.
She was my best girl for a while, and then I loved Lily's episode, so I was in love with her. And then Saki's episode was good, and then I loved Saki again. So I don't know. I'm all over the place.
I always start liking the main character off at first. So I was into Sakura, and then I didn't really have a favorite. And then once Saki's episode came, I was just like, okay, I have found my best girl rider, and no one can change my mind. Fight me.
I have such a soft spot for any Yankee or delinquent character for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because they always just have the coolest clothing.
The coolest clothing, the coolest facial expressions. I just love the sort of I don't want to be here side grin that all the tough guy characters do. I want that to be my default resting face.
Okay, so we did not even mention the famous Yamada Tai, who's she's obviously best girl, so we're basically talking about second place. And her name was not Yuko, we were close, it was Yugiri. So, yeah.
We were half right.
Okay, so Rika Kinugawa is her seiyuu, so I don't know who Miss Kinigawa voices. I don't think she's in Rakugo Shinju.
I don't think so.
She's in Orange. She plays Chino Takako. So she's relatively new seiyuu. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 shows.
She's doing a really good job.
So she's killing it. You know, it's crazy to see these seiyus born 1993, and I'm like, oh my god, everybody's my age. It makes me kind of feel old.
Yeah, it feels weird.
I'm like, Jesus. It's so I'm a sports fan, so watching athletes now that are younger than me, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I thought I was supposed to be the one to connect with these young folk, and now they're younger than me and they're playing Fortnite, and I don't know what the hell Fortnite is. And I feel so disconnected.
Okay, so Miyukichi is voiced by Megumi Hayashibara. Megumi Hayashibara.
She's very good. She's excellent. I know she's super accomplished because I remember looking.
Oh my god, she was Lena in Slayers.
Oh damn.
Oh, she was the original voice of Rhea Nami.
That's what it was, yeah. And I also think that is it Haruhi or is it it's she plays another really random, really famous character that you would not associate with the Rei and Miyokuchi. I know that
I don't know. I'd be scrolling through 5 years worth of credits.
I love that Yamada Tai's seiyuu is the same as Misato, and she's this super it's incredible. Her discography is filled with legendary shows and everything, and she's playing Yamada Tai, which I cannot wait for them to do something with her because it's just wonderful.
I'm curious about what Tai's character arc's going to be, just because it's gonna be a lot of just.
She's the best.
Speaking of, there's been a lot of theories that she may have switched with the dog.
Oh, that's a good theory.
And that's why she's all...
Interesting.
I'm all in on that.
Yeah, I can get on
So
board.
it's like she actually did wake up. She's just the dog.
I love
maybe,
anime conspiracy theories.
And maybe, like, Romero's been trying to communicate that to them this whole time, but then he gets distracted. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm all in on that.
We should probably get back on topic, but this is...
I keep likening Romero to Chuck from Panty and Stocking, and I can't stop.
He is very Chuck, but with less chucking.
Yes, and more marrowing. Anyway, what we should actually do what we wrote the stuff out for, right?
Yeah, we probably should. So I guess we'll just go by... I guess we'll just start with the winter season.
Yeah, let's go in order.
This has been a really pretty good year for anime, I think. Winter just banging.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Winter killed it. Winter, for me, winter's always been kind of consistently my favorite season, and I've been kind of alone. But it just puts out the kinds of shows that I'm here for, and this winter was... when winter started and Yorimoy and Everguard and all that stuff, I thought, wow, it's gonna be impossible to top this.
Yeah, it was pretty hard, especially. Yeah, because I know, Luna, one of your favorites was in this season, so how about we kick it off with you listing some of the ones you loved?
Who, me?
Unless Jan is Luna now, and you guys did a body swap like that theory.
Can I ask a question? So Luna, are you so is it Luna or Luna?
Luna.
Okay, I was wondering if it was Spanish or not.
Well, yeah, like the Spanish.
I mean, it is Spanish, but I was curious. Okay, continue. I apologize for my sidetracking.
Oh, no worries.
We've been getting sidetracked this whole time, so it's not like we can get mad.
It's like my own podcast. I feel like I'm at home.
I mean, we tend to get sidetracked a lot.
I've noticed.
Our producer is very good at pretending like we don't. So
yeah.
I guess my 5 for the winter were pretty easy. Well, sort of. Obviously, this has all been an incredibly hard decision because I want to I want to include everything that I like, but I can't. Okay, well, I'll just start from, I guess, number 5, which was Agretzko. Sanrio is... Okay, first of all, they're geniuses. They're just geniuses. It's they could have very easily made a show that was just, cute characters and then sell a bunch of toys, because that's pretty much what they do. They just sell a lot of really, really adorable merchandise, and they've done that for forever. But no, they actually put a lot of thought into this show, and all the characters are first of all, every character is geniusly constructed, how the boss is literally a sexist pig.
Yes.
And how his little sidekick is literally a weasel.
I love those. I love those puns.
The secretary bird is a secretary. I love it. I love it so much. I love that show. I love her. I love that she sings metal.
Yes, and I was expecting Erica Mendez, the English voice actress, to do it, but no, they actually went and got some guy who's actually in a metal band to do it. Just these little bursts at a time, and I just thought that is just brilliant execution.
I think it could have been really difficult for her to do it if she wasn't used to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, fun fact, I used to be in a metal band. I was not the singer.
I was gonna ask, like, were you
No.
the face of the band?
No, I play guitar.
I was gonna guess drums.
No, a singer was this girl named Wendy. She was amazing. She had an amazing voice. But the way that they scream is, it's not really just screaming. You actually have to, you have to know how to sing, and you basically sing and then kind of add distortion on top of it, if that makes any sense.
That sounds incredibly difficult.
There's a certain way you have to like open your throat too, or something, right?
Requires a lot of breath control, so that you don't like destroy your vocal cords.
Yeah, I can, as a saxophonist, I can do the breath control thing. As a singer, I get cease and desist orders.
So, and I also have two little coin purses. One is Agretzko's happy face, and the other one is her metal face. So I'm very, very proud of those.
Sick.
Also, speaking of little keychain things, I also have one for my next show. And it happens to be one of the faces that a character makes after eating a lemon.
Is this a Pop Team Epic segue? Because they licked a lemon in an episode.
Possibly. Yeah, no, this show is like literally just like, it may not be its final form, but it is certainly its finest form. This show is literally just like shit posting incarnate, and I love it. I love it so much.
At cons, I've met Ian Sinclair at a couple cons since this. He's the main Popico, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. And he's
PP Me.
Oh, PP Me. My apologies. And whenever someone asks him,
he also does the Bob Epic Team segment.
Yeah. Whenever someone asks him about it, he always just says it's Japan's Robot Chicken, pretty much. Just a bunch of cultural references and because that like are somehow Frankensteined into a sketch. And some of them you can easily get like, oh, that's obviously Initial D, or that's Pokemon. And then other ones are just like the most obscure shit you will imagine. You can ever imagine or can't imagine because you have no clue what it is. But it's still funny.
Yeah,
kind of like Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like I like this whole show is just so memeable. Like the art style by AC Boo for the Bob Epic Team skits, or as I say in the Japanese one, which I think is like Bob, and it makes me laugh like every time. Like they're just so like hilariously grotesque in like the best way. Like it's just so like crude and demented, and I love it. And like the sketch where the like crudely drawn Popco is like trying to kill the waiter for like spilling water all over her. She sets up like a flail and a bear trap, and then she keeps like trapping herself and all the different like, oh my god, it kills me.
My favorite of the Bob Epics is Eisai Haramasu Koi. Great for morning calisthenics.
Yes. Still thinking about Hellshake Yano.
We all are.
The dub is absolutely hilarious too. Like, mucho props to Emily Neves for adapting those scripts, and also
for Chris George for directing it, because another name you can call it is 2 characters, 48 actors.
Mm-hmm. Now there's so many
Shout out to good dubs.
Oh yeah. And also, interestingly enough, though, like they stayed pretty faithful to the Japanese track, and instead just like they didn't try to put in their own jokes or anything.
They didn't try to over adapt or anything either. Like there were some things where you were like, oh, they're obviously going to make this pun instead of that, but no, they kept it.
Yeah.
I think sometimes over adapting is good, but sometimes it's bad. I think Steins Gate is a good example of over adapting done well. Like J. Michael Tatum wrote that script and he inserted a lot of really good jokes, and like it flowed incredibly. And there's a lot of examples of over localization that just completely destroys whatever the source material was. So I'm glad to hear that Pop Team did a good job with that.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in the late 90s, early 2000s gets overly localized, like giving every character in Case Closed / Detective Conan an American name instead of their originals, or you could, like, the same with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Card Captors.
Sailor Moon.
Oh,
yeah.
That's probably the worst offender, I think. I think that's probably the poster child for just bad localizations, or just like
that, and when they tried to call Tokyo Mew Mew Hollywood Mew Mew.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
No bueno.
There's a reason no one's heard of it. Because it was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Pop Team Epic so much.
Yeah.
I aspire to be Peepee Me, but I know that I'm always going to be Popco.
Me too. I'm a Popico at heart. Like Peepee Me in the streets,
short.
Popico in the sheets.
Like, I'm really short, and I want to beat the crap out of every alarm clock.
and cuckoo clock.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, and I can play the glockenspiel in an infinite loop.
I can probably keep a beat that long if I had to.
Okay, so
you're a sax player. You're a musician.
Yeah.
That's not percussion, though. It's.
That's true.
You got? Okay, 2 down, 3 to go for you, Luna. What's next?
Okay. Okay, so next would be Devilman Crybaby. I'm a huge fan of Go Nagai. I read the manga, and as also a huge fan of Cutie Honey, which is another series that he wrote, that also got an adaptation or a more recent adaptation that I like to try and forget about. But no, I love Devilman. It's like the ultimate, like, apocalyptic, like, awesome, like.
How'd you feel about the adaptation?
I loved it. Like, I want to see more original Yuasa stuff on Netflix. Like, even if it's just like they really should put like Lou Over the Wall, or like The Night is Short, Walk On Girl, or something on there. Maybe not the Tatami Galaxy. or if they do like, okay. True
I feel
story.
exhausted just thinking about that show.
The only way I could watch that show is... Okay, I feel really bad about admitting this, but one, there's, like, no physical copy for this damn show. So I basically ended up having to download it so I could watch it in VLC, so I could slow down the video speed to, like, I think, like, a third. So it basically, I had to like slow it down enough to where the main character could actually speak at a relatively normal speed and everyone else sounded okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I got through half of the first episode before the exhaustion set in, and I just basically remember just mashing the space bar, like, to the point that it looked like I was typing in Morse code. And in order to be able just to read the subtitles, which would be like a 3-line block of text for 2 seconds.
Is it like that, really? I haven't seen it, so.
It's
the main character thinks really quickly.
So it's only when it's in his inner monologue, it just goes like a mile a minute. But when he's actually speaking, it's normal.
Are you supposed to get it all, or is the point of it that you're only supposed to get partial bits of his thoughts?
No, you're supposed to get all of it.
You're supposed to get all of it, so like if
almost
it was
all of it. So
yeah.
like
okay.
Yeah.
in Japanese, it's just a person speaking really fast, and then you have to sort of keep up with that, but that's not really that difficult since it's just hearing. While in English, it's reading since it's sub only. There's no dub for it. Though I did hear Bevins tried to get a dub for it a while back, but couldn't.
Yeah. No cigar.
Strange Bird. Devilman was my first Yuasa work, and I saw Night on
wow.
Girl this year as well. Yeah, it was not. I was actually told like don't watch it with people around because I still live at home. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. You know, when no one's around. And the first couple episodes were a damn ride. I'll tell you that.
Sheesh. Yeah, not quite. It's not quite like Urotsukidoji or anything, but it's pretty like it's very graphic. Very
it is very soft core. It is it's porn at times. Let's just be upfront.
I mean, let's be frank. I mean, there were two demons having sex while flying and fighting.
It reminds me of this.
I mean, that's just a regular,
it's a regular
Thursday
day in the anime, yeah.
It reminds me of this one time on this canoe trip, like right in the middle while we were paddling, these two dragonflies come up like maybe a foot in front of me.
I thought you were gonna say you witnessed like the literal apocalypse, but okay.
No. Like
that's
two
what I was waiting for.
No, even it's better than that. Two dragonflies doing it in midair, like a foot away from my face, and they both seemed into it.
Don't disturb.
Hey, like they tell them not to do it while flying a foot away from my face, and then I won't disturb them.
But no, I thought it was a really like gorgeous interpretation of Go Nagai's work. It was really fun watching everyone's reactions to it, because like I pretty much knew what was gonna happen. There were a few like our artistic liberties, but it wasn't too bad. I loved the freestyle rapping. It almost kind of function kind of like a Greek chorus, sort of like sort of providing a commentary on the events that were happening throughout the series.
Too bad they couldn't dub that part.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you watch a dub? I watched a dub, so it was.
I kind of went back and forth. I watched a couple episodes dub, watched a couple episodes, or then I watched them again in sub, etc. I think it's fine if they don't dub them or whatever, but the problem is they didn't subtitle them either. Yeah. So you had to actually like turn on the subtitles to actually understand.
Oh, really?
Saying.
No wonder.
Yeah, I had to do
ridiculous.
that too.
Well, you were talking about the Greek chorus. I was like, did I miss something?
Yeah, no, like all the lyrics are like it's great.
I wanted Johnny Young Bosch to rap. Okay, we didn't get that. I'm really upset.
I wanted Jeremy Lee to rap.
I mean, shout out to Butterfly. I think that was Keith Silverstein. I apologize if it's not, but if it is, shout out to Keith Silverstein. That was fucking great. Oh yeah, shout out to the entire cast of that show. Oh my god, Kyle McCarley as Ryo Asuka. Holy shit, fantastic.
The whole cast was just insane.
Yeah.
Christina V delivered as always. Johnny Young Bosch.
Hell yeah.
Jeremy Lee was incredible. Probably one of my favorite performances of hers. Is one of the two Mikis.
Yeah.
Makimura, I think.
Miki Makamura. Try saying that 10 times
Christina
fast.
V.
Yeah, that's Christina V.
And the other Miki, who I think was just called the other Miki or Mika.
Which, by the way, shout out to Christina V, who played Rena Kosaka in the Liz and the Bluebird dub, and that has been my dream casting. I've been like headcanoning that since I saw UFO like when it came out. So I feel so validated that people saw my vision of typecasting Christina V as Rena.
And I hope that gives Pony Canyon some hints.
I'm waiting to give you my money, Pony Canyon.
That is the only reason I have not bought the show.
Pony Canyon doesn't deserve our money yet.
Like, I have watched it on Crunchyroll like 5,000 times. I've bought a lot of merch for it, but I have not bought the Blu-rays because
Finally, I own all of it.
I want a dub. I want a dub so bad. Anyway, where am I at? That was 4.
That was 3.
3.
That was 3.
So 2
I can
and 1.
count. Okay, so the next one is A Place Further Than the Universe. This will probably surprise absolutely no one, because I would not shut the fuck up about this show.
I'm surprised there's not one.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out what your number 1 is, if that's the case.
Fun fact: I did not know this until I actually started like reading about it. So the Shiraisei is an Antarctic expedition ship, and that's who she's named after. Or that's what she's named after.
Aww. Wonderful daughter.
So that's pretty cool.
She's
good. Yeah, no, it's a super compelling coming of age story. Also penguins.
Penguins are good. Shout out to Penguin Drum.
And Dime a Dollar. Shout out to Dime a Dollar.
Shout out to Penguin Highway.
Shout out to Penguin Memories.
Shout out to penguins.
Yeah.
Shout out to shout out to Grape Coon. May he rest in peace.
And shout out to Peggy from Tokyo ESP.
Shout out to Pen Pen.
Oh, shout out to Pen Pen.
Much shout out to Pen Pen.
And everyone's gonna get to shout out Pen Pen soon because Netflix is bringing it to the people.
Yeah, I love this show. So that director is also the director of No Game No Life, and I think she also directed Hana Yamata, which of course they make no effort to hide that in the show, because in the convenience store where Hinata works, I think like over by all the magazines and stuff, there's a giant poster of like No Game No Life 0.
Yeah,
I remember. They had to change the name slightly, but yeah.
So the director also did storyboards for Monster and Nana, which is quite and Sakura So, and she also directed.
Oh hell yeah!
Pet Girl Sakura So that's.
No, I think she's great. And yeah, no, like, so yeah, they just love to tease us, like, oh, you like No Game No Life? Well, we're still not giving you another season. And it's like, God damn it, Madhouse. Anyway, at least the show is really good. Otherwise, I'd be really upset about that right now.
The show is beautiful. If it made me cry at least once.
Oh yeah, I think I cried almost the entire way through, but that's just me.
The ending was
favorite. Oh yeah, like my favorite scene though is like when Mari is finally trying to tell her mother about this epic plan that she didn't really tell her about in the first place, but is now going to have to. And like, okay, so the way that they set this scene up is absolutely hilarious. It's like her and her little sister are just kind of like peering into the kitchen, and like their mom is making dinner, and this like really suspenseful music starts to play, and then it's just like with each chop of the knife with like of like the vegetables, like it just gets more suspenseful. And then you see, you know, like the steam, you know, or like the condensation forming on like the cooking pot or whatever. And then you see like the little like sweat drops form, and then it's like another chop, and then the music gets even more intense, and then another chop until like
it was incredible.
I remember that scene just making me anxious.
Yeah, and then like she finally turns around and both the girls go ah! Like, it's so great.
That scene was so great because you have a show about youth. Like, the focus of the show is about using your youth. And what is more encapsulating of the experience of youth than being horrified by your parents because you didn't tell them your grand scheme to do something? It was the most relatable thing ever.
Yeah,
I know when I didn't tell my parents that I was going to Antarctica, like, they were really mad about it. I'm just kidding.
then she goes outside, and then she's like, "Hotosan, Hotosan," and he closes the door slowly, like, "Dad's a slave to mom, just as you are."
That was so good.
Kimari.
Yeah, and the dad's like, I am sorry, honey. I love you, but I cannot protect you. I gotta watch my own ass. The dad scene had me cracking up.
The thing with Yorimoy that's great is how accessible it is to, like, it's a show that I feel very comfortable and willing to recommend to anybody. Because it's just like it doesn't have any of the strange stuff about anime that I think we've kind of grown numb to, but B, it has all the charm of anime.
It's family friendly, basically.
But it encapsulates like all the cool shit about anime, like the overexpression, the characterization, the like these themes of coming of age, of emotion, the adventure, the sense of wonder, the sense of like grandiose that the world has grounded in our own reality, which is just wonderful. Like when Shirase and the girls get to Antarctica and they go outside and she's like, in your face, right? Like it's just something that like, damn, we've all felt that before. Like we've all like done stuff like that we feel like, man, nope, people told me I couldn't do this and we're here and we did it. And like the storyboards are incredible. The soundtrack is so damn good. Like the show is one of the best of the year, and it's just top to bottom production, writing, storyboards, everything, direction. Just I love Yorimoy.
Actually, speaking of one of the best shows of the year, it actually made the
New York Times.
Yeah, New York Times top 10 foreign shows of the year.
So awesome.
Do you know how like cool that is? That this show, like, and it's encapsulating of these girls. These girls set out to do something special, and they really did. Yeah. Like making the New York, like that's so wild, and it's so important in how everything that the show wanted to tell, it became actualized.
It made me realize how little I'm doing with my life.
Yeah, if you ever want to feel like slightly insignificant about your life choices,
watch a show where you get one-upped by a bunch of middle schoolers.
High schoolers. But it's like but it shows that any of us can do that, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the point.
Yeah.
That any of us can kind of break the mundaneness of our life, that our lives don't have to be this kind of dullness, that we shouldn't waste away doing these things. Let's go out and do stuff.
Like, for example, awesome. I'm actually going back to school.
Hell yeah.
Next term. Gonna finally, I applied to a radiology program. So I can learn how to take people's x-rays and CT scans and hopefully make a little more money.
Money's good.
Money's good.
You can go to Antarctica with that.
Yeah. What? Is there
Get
a
that
freezing?
$1 million in the bank.
Is there like a freezing temperature for contrast liquid? Because that might be that might be an issue. Sorry, you're frozen now. My bad.
Icicle.
Okay, and then
number one, after we expected this to be number one.
If it weren't for this next show, I probably would have said A Place Further Than the Universe would be my favorite of the winter, but it's because of this one show. This just blew fucking everything else out of the fucking water. I think Gian knows what I'm gonna say.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
After the Rain?
Yeah. I fucking love this show. The show is amazing. First of all, the animation's gorgeous.
So good.
Like, oh my god, shout out to Studio Wit. But like, treat your animators better.
Yeah. Because
they do really fantastic work. Like, this show is amazing. So, very controversial subject matter at first, but I can promise you, like, nothing bad happens. I promise. The show is incredible.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, like it's actually like a total bait and switch. It's really just kind of like a coming of age story about like kind of, and also like a second coming of age story and sort of rediscovering your like passions in life. So for the main character, Akira Tachibana, it's running track, because that was basically her life for so long until she injured herself. And I think because of that, she kind of fell into a little bit of depression. And then her boss at the diner where she works, he really wanted to be a novelist, and he never really kind of did anything with that. And now he's divorced. He's the manager at this restaurant, and I think and one of his friends is also a successful author. So, and I think like their friendship, I think they end up kind of helping each other out of like the rut that they've kind of put themselves in. It's just such a great show. Like, I love all the characters. I love her. Like, I love the main character. Like,
Akida's so good. Haruka's amazing too. I love her and Haruka's relationship.
Yes.
They're so cute. They had their little, like, when they went to the festival together in their yukatas, it was the best. The show uses sound so damn well, like underratedly.
Oh my god.
I mean, I know there's an episode, I think it might be 7 or something, that Akira, it's really hot, and she's like walking to the bus stop, and they just use very, very light music and just the sounds of heat and cicadas, and it's like, there's not a lot of words said that episode. It's just kind of like that's kind of like the thread that's going through the episode of just, and it's done so damn masterfully. The soundtrack is wonderful. Storyboards. Talked about storyboards for Yorimoi. I mean, if not for Violet Evergarden, these may be storyboards of the year or season. Like, the shot composition in this show is incredible. Studio Wit is, even going back to Attack on Titan, what they do with lighting is insane. The particles in the air, everything. It's Ufotable-esque at times.
The scene where I'm trying to put this into context without it sounding really strange, but long story short, she's hiding.
My life as an anime fan.
She's hiding in a closet, and it's like getting really, really hot in there. And then just like at one point, she just literally just like leaps out of the closet before she but like she does it so gracefully, and then just passes out.
That was
it's so great.
There's a scene where she's sick, and what I thought was really well done is how, like, actually a positive portrayal of female masturbation, where she's like doing it right, but it's done super, the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where she's in bed and she's sick, and it's just done. It was really interesting to me because I'd never seen that really done in anime before, and it was done really tastefully. It wasn't done for male gaze or anything, and I thought
with
that was a really
strange donkey noise like in Devilman Crybaby.
Exactly. It was we got 2 masturbation scenes in one season. Look at that.
Yeah, one is incredibly disturbing and weird, and now I actually really like that, and I think like it actually took me a minute to figure out what was going on, and I was like, oh.
The second the scene ended is when it dawned on me.
I was like, oh my.
I thought she was really sick and sweating and like breathing heavy, and I was like, oh my god, honey, take an Advil. Take a Tylenol.
And I was like, oh. Okay, never mind. Ooh. Take your time.
Flourish.
Do what you gotta do, girl.
Such a good show. The ED, by the way, Amir, kills it. She performed that at AX, and I was so happy that I got to hear it. It was so great.
I would have died. I would have died. I love her.
She's a goddess. Like, she comes out, and you're not even allowed to see her. Like, so they have like the kind of like lighting, so she's like a silhouette, and she's just singing her powerful ass voice, and then Yuki Kajira, my mom, comes out and starts playing for her, and she starts singing with Yuki Kajira, and I was like, I'm home.
Oh my god, I would have died. I love them so much.
I was dead.
This show blew by me, but it sounds really interesting from what you've told me.
It's good, at least from an artistic perspective. Like, just it's gorgeous. RC Anime did a video of cinematography of the year, and one of the sections that he did was After the Rain. So even if you just watch that to like look how beautiful it is, to get you to watch it, because it's incredible.
It is unfortunately on Amazon, so you kind of have to like search for it. but it is there, I promise.
Amazon has this weird streak that every season it's had at least one show that I'm interested in. It's incredible. Since anime strike has happened, I've literally had a run of an Amazon show on, and I was like, I can't drop it.
It's like a blessing and a curse, because it's like there's so many great shows on that service that are just like in limbo. Like, I don't know if there's ever going to be a physical release, which is really heartbreaking, because like Recreators needs a physical release. Oh my god,
they better rescue season 2 of Umaru. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, maybe.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I think so. Yeah. It's pretty much all my winter stuff. My honorable mentions go to Mitsubishi Colors, just because I just found it really endearing and hilarious, and they're just like these really cute little shitlords. Not quite as demented as Asabe Asabase. And then, of course, Yudu Camp, or Laid Back Camp, which kind of made me want to go camping for a bit. Even though I really hate camping.
Camping in the winter's nice.
Me too. And then I remembered I would have to involve like actually doing labor and being outside and stuff. And I'm like, but video games.
And the little acorns don't even talk in real life.
Boo.
It's just like my favorite thing about the show is anytime they would show acorns or firewood, just like this tiny little acorn would be like, "Konnichiwa."
I love this.
So cute. Anyway, so that's my winter.
I'll do mine winter next. Since you said Pop Team Epic already, I'll swap it out with a show that tied for it. But first, my number 5, Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card.
Woo!
Because
Tomoyo best girl.
Who'd you say?
Tomoyo best girl.
We'll talk later. I grew up with watching Sakura Avalon on TV in the mornings, and so that there was the nostalgia factor, and then I also liked how quickly I learned oh, here's what they changed and here's what it actually is, which was nice. It didn't ruin my childhood or anything, but it was interesting to see. And really just the wholesomeness of it was just so nice. So nice. Like, it's like one of the few truly family-friendly shows that Funimation licensed. Like, you could watch this with your kids and it would be perfectly fine. Like young children can watch it, I think.
Yeah.
There's such a spectrum when it comes to Clamp series, because it's like there's stuff like X, which is really violent.
Yeah.
It was so groundbreaking at the time, because it was one of the first shoujo romance type mangas that was very violent and graphic, and and that there was a lot of controversy when it first came out, but it was one of my favorites. I think my first Clamp though is probably Chobits, if I recall correctly.
I think that would be my first Clamp after Cardcaptors, since I knew what anime was.
I want to say it was Chobits, Angelic Lair, X, then maybe Holic.
Holic was maybe was after Chobits for me, but yeah, I just loved it was nostalgic and just really fun and clean and pure and wholesome, and I just want everyone in that show to just hug and be happy and just warmthness.
Shout out to Meg Shipman. She does a really great cover of the opening.
Yes, she does.
In English. Actually got to watch her perform that live at Minicon earlier this summer, so that was pretty dope.
Cute. Complete 180 from that show for my 4th is Garo Vanishing Line, because that show was awesome.
I included that last year because it started in the fall.
Oh.
Some people do it differently.
Forgot when it started exactly. But yeah, so
yeah, that show is amazing.
Yeah, the dub performances blew me away. Like Maddie Morris and Taliesin Jaffe were the main characters, and they were just perfect. Like, oh my god. And then the action scenes were just insane.
Oh, you can't forget Zaruba.
Right. And then the lady character whose name escapes me, Trina Nishimura's character.
Her name's Gina.
Gina, yes. Gina, like, her arc was amazing. Like, I had chills during her big fight.
I mean, obviously Luke is best boy. That's just me.
We'll talk later.
God, he's so fucking attractive. It's not fair. Oh my god.
He is a little too cute for anyone's own good. Yeah, there was that. Number 3, and Jen, Luna told me I'm supposed to rag on you for this for whatever reason. My third is Laid Back Camp, because
he just had a late start watching it, and apparently he does not like Best Girl. But we'll talk about that later.
Do we agree on Best Girl?
I didn't even pick a Best Girl. I love them all so much.
I mean, it's Sakura. It's just
okay. I'm fine with anyone being the best girl on that squad.
You're just like, I'm not even gonna put up a fight.
They all have valid arguments for best girl, so I will agree with whatever anyone says.
Luna, you agree with me, right?
I really, really have a soft spot for the drunk teacher.
Well, I'm not there yet. I'm in the. I'm
you'll get
watching.
there.
She's great.
That sounds like
best,
a hoot.
And
I love her.
The best way to get a club advisor is by blackmail, it turns out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
okay on.
You'll understand, You'll understand when you get there.
I'm excited.
But that show, and that, as well as Amanshu and maybe I guess Konohana and Kino's Journey taught me that I'm an Iyashikei junkie. I just love the mellow vibe they have.
Yeah, but have you seen Flying Witch?
Half of it, and I own the Blu-ray, so I'll finish it eventually. I like that one too.
It's good.
But yeah, it just makes you want to go camping or just appreciate a cool morning in a scarf. Right. Second from that is Overlord 2. It's one of my favorite isekai in a genre that shouldn't be as saturated as it is. I love the characters, and especially in this second season. I thought they were a lot of fun. There was a lot more action, a lot less politicking, which I think they found the balance for in season 2. And like I said, the characters, Crush Lulu is best girl of that season. That I will fight for. And honestly, I just liked how they played with like light and dark in different areas. Just not really to symbolize anything, but just as a sort of to offer like some variety, since it would be sort of like mid brightness the entire time otherwise.
I have seen approximately 0.5 episodes of Overlord. I'm sorry to say.
You didn't even make it out of the first season.
I will get to it eventually. It's on the never-ending list of things I need to watch.
Yeah, Overlord 2, and then my number one for winter is Violet Evergarden. Oh my god, that show was brilliantly executed and made me feel things.
Episode 10 is a strong contender for episode of the year.
Oh my god.
That one got me.
Everyone on the threads I was posting on it about were saying
that one got me.
Was like when I was saying dude, wait till episode 10. If you're crying now, wait till episode 10.
That's
bro.
what I said.
Did you pirate it, or did you go? Were you watching it seasonally, or did you wait for the Netflix release?
I watched it on Netflix. That's
I didn't
hear about it until I learned that Netflix was getting it. So,
my thing with that was especially because it's KyoAni and everything KyoAni I give my money to, I was gonna wait like a good boy. And all of a sudden, everything was getting spoiled for me. So episode 1 was fine because I had seen it at AX. And then episode 2 came around,
Oh yeah, that's right.
everyone
Premiered there.
was spoiling the hell out of it.
boo.
And I would mute the tags, and there was just nothing. And I was like, I can either survive or not survive. So I chose to survive.
A valiant effort. Yeah, I had Canadian friends that got to watch it
Must be nice.
week to week.
Yeah. Netflix simulcast. Stay
And
woke.
I also the show and story were beautiful, but I just love one thing that I like about it was I got to completely just like let my nerd out with the
writing system.
the alphabet and writing system they used, because not only did they have uppercase and lowercase, part of it was a cipher, and I just ate my little linguist heart out, just having fun deciphering that. And yeah, that was a good time. The story was great too, but the aesthetics in it
The production was just...
were what made me a very happy boy.
Let me tell you something. Probably the thing I was most happy about production-wise was how involved Haruka Fujita was, who is an up-and-coming director at KyoAni. I love her. Everything she puts her hands on is awesome. Her storyboards, very famously, Hibike Euphonium Episode 8, the infamous hike, has her fingerprints all over it. And I also believe that she storyboarded the first half of Episode 1 of Season 2, or the second half of Episode 1 second half of Episode 1 Season 2, which features the Kumire firework festival. So Haruka Fujita getting a larger role in the studio and having more creative decisions within the company is enormous for the industry, because she is like... To call her the next Yamada, may feel like hyperbole, but she's that damn good. Like her episode, which was 5, she directed that, and Yamada storyboarded it, which is like the power team of power teams. That was the episode with the princess and the other guy.
Oh,
trying to marry
nice.
her. Yeah, but like, I mean, that episode, just the direction, the use of flowers, everything was just incredible. And then that last scene where she puts her keeper's hand on her forehead as it's incredible. Everything about what she did. And Ishidate, who is honestly, he gets a lot of shit as like the weakest of the KyoAni directors. He's probably one of my favorite episode directors. He directed my favorite directed episode of UFO, which is season 2, episode 9, where Kumiko goes to Asuka's house. Like, he's such a talent.
What's the episode in season 2 where Kumiko hides up against the wall, like you can't
3.
see me? Okay. That's my favorite thing that happens in the entire show.
She's the best. So just, I love how a lot of people in that studio really got to shine. The music, everything, like, you know, as Matt said, like the production was just outstanding. One of
my favorite things about that they did in Violet Evergarden was just like all the symbolism and use of hands, since she lost hers and like is trying to sort of find what like makes her human, yet has a job where she has to express emotions with artificial hands. The how they played with like ideological contrast there and had her hands and gloves be a symbol, I thought was just brilliantly well done.
And that's like such a great story for them to adapt, because they're so good at highlighting like a KyoAni scene. is never just looking at faces and stuff. It's always like, what are your hands doing? What are your legs doing? What are
your eyes doing?
What are your eyes doing? And Haruka Fujita
Feet.
loves to play with that. Yamada loves feet. Like, it's everything about your body and how that builds up your human condition. So Violet not having a hand and learning these human feelings is just like...
Really, what I thought would be the one group that I could think of that I would recommend that to would be people with like combat PTSD, because a lot of what Violet was experiencing was readjusting to civilian life and finding her place there. So whenever I would see her try to like figure stuff out, all I could think of was like, she's basically a war veteran trying to readjust.
But she's also a child.
True. Child soldier,
because
basically.
Anime.
Yeah, because anime.
How old is she again? Like 19 or something?
She's like 14 or 15 or something crazy.
Yeah,
Jeez.
like really young.
It's
Really
absurd.
young.
Yeah, it's something that I was jarred by.
I did not catch that at all. Damn.
Yeah. So that'd be that.
Yeah.
And that's my number one. Other honorable mentions: Pop Team Epic Universe, Dagashikashi 2, and where was it? Dagashikashi 2. All great, fun little shows. Oh, and Master of Teasing Takagi-san. That was just once I warmed up to it, it was a lot of fun.
For some reason I thought that was in the spring, but sometimes all these shows just kind of blend together.
They mesh.
I just checked.
No, I'm sure you're right.
Season lists, and it was on there.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you're right. It's just like I said, all these things tend to blend together, and then I get confused. Yeah. Right. Anyway, and now our honored guest.
Woo!
Last but not least, for this season.
So I'm using movies. I'm not including Leftovers, although that made it complicated because March came in like a lion. Was Leftovers season 2? Yeah, March was incredible. My favorite arc with Shimada. So number 5, I have After the Rain, as we've all talked about it. Incredible show. I just love the storyboards, the art, the music. Oh, the music is so good. And I think we've said all we need to say about that. At number 4, I have the Chunibyo movie, Take Me On. What a delightful experience. It was a show that I watched a couple years ago, and I really, really had a lot of fun with it, and it was great to revisit it. Just KyoAni standard, up, top to bottom.
I think Matt just bought it. I just bought it.
Yeah, I watched it like last week or so. It was wonderful.
It's so good.
I've already watched it like 5 times.
We finally got the romantic payoff between Rika and Yuta.
Right?
Like,
finally, God.
Jesus Christ, like that.
And also, the best buddy cop show ever.
Yeah.
Starring Deku
Yes.
Mori and fucking Morty Summer. I love that so much. I love them. Oh my god.
Yes, that. I know that they pretend they hate each other,
thing.
but they're besties.
No, and the best.
Ever since the kiss in the Christmas episode, like, oh my god, I love them so much.
I love how just well organized the sister is. Like, oh, you aren't gonna do this? Here's some blackmail. Oh, you aren't gonna do that either. Here's some
Toko's
more
scary.
blackmail.
She is my best girl. The sister is.
I love evil geniuses, and she's an evil genius.
Fun fact: I met Genevieve Simmons, who is the voice of her in the dub.
Oh yeah.
And she signed some of my art cards.
That's awesome.
It was really cool.
She's so good. I love it. But what I loved about that film is that they do the absurd so well, like the buddy cop, like they're like running on the train and they looking ridiculous, and they also do like the serious, because at the end of the day, Chunibyo is a show about mourning, about moving on, and about growing up. And KyoAni has a lot of shows don't do tonal shifts well. We mentioned March a little while ago. Like, I'm not a big fan of how March does it, or Your Lie in April, or stuff like that. But I think Chunibyo is a show that does it so well, and I appreciate that. And there's scenes of the solitude conveyed or the feelings of loneliness. It's just and Giani doesn't really get a lot of chances to do kisses, so that was really nice because like not even in their romantic stuff. Like I can't think of a Giani kiss scene, like not even Clanad. You know what I mean? So.
Oh wow! Now come to think of it, I think they just I think they literally held hands, and then she had a baby.
Tomoya and I are having babies, and bam, Yushi was born.
Wear gloves, kids.
No glove, no love.
No love.
So at number 3, I have Violet Evergarden, and we didn't mention the soundtrack of Violet Evergarden, which is probably one of the best of the year, along with After the Rain.
Okay, so shout out to Juliet Simmons, also known as GB Phonic. She does a really great cover of the ending theme.
I love covers. The ending is so good. It kind of reminded me of Beyond the Boundary. It was kind of similar. I don't think it was the same storyboarder, but
I'm not sure. It was a very similar what do I want to say? Mood.
I love how KyoAni. So I'm not a big fan of the ending of Violet Evergarden, and that's what's keeping it from being higher. I thought the show probably peaked at episode 11 when Violet visits the soldier who was unable to. I felt that the show peaked. I felt that the last little arc was not good enough. Like it just, I don't know, it felt unnecessary and out of place. That kind of made me feel a bit uneven about a show that I otherwise loved. But the show probably could have ended at 11 or even 10 for that matter. But it was just incredible.
What do you think of the special episode?
I still haven't seen the OVA yet. I'm dying. I'm pissed at my sister.
It's so good.
I gotta watch it.
It's really good. Just like a completely different kind of take on what you'd expect.
I'm down for that.
I'm trying to remember like when it takes place, but it's sort of like somewhere in between one of the beginning episodes, but I don't remember which one.
I thought it took place like after that, like when she after she settled into her job more.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the beginning. I could be wrong.
A daddy Claudia is.
It's.
Jesus, he's gorgeous. Like KyoAni has 2 of the top like gorgeous men of this year.
Like
he is very pretty.
I don't know how they do it, cause like
Same.
Exactly.
They just draw really pretty people.
They're so good. I look at Claudia and I was like, wow. And then the other lady, the really pretty lady who wears red, who's like always like teasing Claudia, like she's gorgeous too. So we have like this gorgeous man and this gorgeous woman, and I was like, wow, please make babies, like the world deserves it.
You're thinking of Catalea Baudelaire, and I really wish that she had gotten more development because
Me too.
She was like one of the characters I was genuinely curious about. Like, okay, like what's her story? Tell me about her. We know we know just about everyone else's at least basic background, but like nothing about Catalea, and she seems genuinely interesting. And we got like a teaspoons full, but that's about it.
I just want to know why the blonde guy wears heeled boots.
Because he's fabulous.
Yeah, he's fabulous.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. They're amazing.
Don't judge him.
It's just I've never seen that in an anime.
That's not Utena. Innovating. They're
innovating. Yeah.
Shout out to Ikuhara.
Yes. Oh man, we will get to Ikuhara. That's going to be an episode.
So my number 2 is a film, and honestly, if not for another film that I'm sure we'll talk about later, it would have been my movie of the year and maybe my anime of the year. Makia.
I only got to see it once. I was really sad.
I have only seen it once, and my sister and I walked out of that theater sniffling, crying. It was probably... I'm a sucker for family stories. KyoAni does a lot of those, and a lot of my favorites are, commentaries on family and love. Like, the damn movie had like 4 emotional climaxes and somehow kept raising the stakes. And PA Works did an incredible job with the background art and just in general, and what delicate touch it had with humanity, love, family. It handled the action great. Wasn't a fan of the CGI.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it needed it. You're doing a movie, like kind of like Mirai, also this year. Like you CGI for a damn dog.
The other film that made me cry the entire time.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Good movie.
Not as hard as Makia, but it got pretty close. Like I realized that, like, when I went to the bathroom at the end of the movie, I looked in the mirror, and there, like, half the makeup from my face was missing.
I'm gonna tweet out a picture after this podcast is done of me after Makia.
Because I was just like this, just like rubbing my face the entire time, just like. I was just like, oh god, I literally just wiped away all of my makeup on this side of my face.
I want to see Maki again. I really do.
And
I'm glad it's getting a home release.
I was like trying to like hide like in like my sweater, like please don't look at me. Even though like no one can see you because it's dark, but
Big mood.
I'm sure everyone else was like sobbing their eyes out, but anyway.
I need to see Makia. I've heard nothing but good things.
It's incredible. Like I cannot. There's not enough superlatives to sing its praise.
I think. Is Shout Factory putting it out? I don't remember.
It's getting a home release.
It's either Shout Factory or G Kids, I think.
I think it's G Kids.
I can't remember.
My number one should come as no surprise to anybody. A place further than the universe. Yorimoy.
Yeah.
Just
beautiful.
Just a wonderful character story. Everything that I love about anime encapsulated into one beautiful story of youth and greatness. And Madhouse, thank you for making anime because you're so good at it.
Who's everyone's favorite girl?
Props.
Okay, so I go back and forth between Hinata and Shirase.
Yeah, same.
I think right now I'm team Hinata, but if you ask me tomorrow, I'm probably Shirase. Hinata's, I think those are objectively the two best written girls.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yuzu is really quirky, and so is Himari, but I think just like, I don't know, I really like when anime just gives us people and completely like breaks them down and like tears them apart and like shows us who like what's really inside. And I felt like Shirase and Hinata got that treatment even more so than Yuzu, who went through a lot. I felt like they were completely like revealed to us, like their true soul and everything that they hide under their exterior. And I really appreciated that, and I loved what was under. I love their exterior, and I love what was under.
Don't make me choose. I can't.
I love that Shirase stood up to Hinata's quote-unquote friends.
Piss off.
Yeah.
Like it was just great. She basically just she was just like, yeah, just like go fuck yourselves. Like, you suck.
If I had to pick, I guess I'd say Hinata, because I just felt like she gave me more of an emotional ride than I think the others did, just not by, at least by a little bit. So I guess I'm team Hinata.
I was I don't know. Like, I really like her personality the best. Yeah, she's just like, I would hang out with her. Probably.
They're all good.
I mean, I would hang out with all of them, but yeah.
We didn't even talk about the fact that there's canonically, Shirase canonically has two moms. Like, that was a really cool aspect of that. It was a very good year for LGBTQ anime. Like, it was just awesome. Like, we got it right from the damn jump with Yorimoy, and it was in the most low-key way ever. And I love that Takako and Gin are Shirase's mothers, and I thought it was done very tactfully and very nicely. And after rewatching it, you're just like, damn, like that hits home, especially at the end with the emails and everything. So.
Oh God, no, not the emails!
Not the
Stop,
emails. I can't listen to the song without dying.
God, those
so
emails.
Oh my God, that was awful and fantastic, and oh God.
Hashtag but those emails.
Not those emails.
Sorry, I couldn't resist the joke. Anywho, that's winter for this year. It's funny how we're talking about winter, a different winter, while we're in winter. It's weird.
Well, still technically we're in fall, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Winter theoretically doesn't start till the 21st, I think.
Really? That late?
Isn't that the winter solstice?
I forget.
Isn't it always on the 21st? I don't know. That's when my friends usually...
the more we know.
No, it's not. It's not a set date. It's a set, like, X days after however long or whatever.
Yeah, well...
Moving on to spring, because we have no clue what we're talking about now.
Whichever day is the darkest. Anyway.
I was most excited for spring.
Yeah, spring was also pretty good, too. I think we were most excited for... Oh, crap. Wait, which season was Attack on Titan in?
Spring.
Okay.
Summer. Summer.
Never mind.
Wait, yeah, he's right. Summer. It's on my list in summer.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, spring. I think this is probably the most spring show because it has it sort of in the title, but maybe also not. Anyway, the point is, Hinamatsuri. The show is so endearing and heartwarming and fucking hilarious.
Hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
It's as much as I've ever laughed watching anime.
Okay, like, if you want reaction faces, this is a treasure trove of reaction faces. I love all the characters. I love their relationships with one another. The
situational comedy, it's just like the concept of what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, there's a middle schooler being a bartending savant.
I love her. She's my favorite
like conceptually
character.
like I just mean conceptually, it is conceptually hilarious that an alien appears in front of a Yakuza member and the Yakuza guy can't get rid of her because she's gonna break his stuff, so now he has to domesticate her. Like, just conceptually it's hysterical.
And then another alien shows up, and then
bless her.
ends up,
Anzu.
like,
bless Anzu.
Yeah, I love her. And then ends up, like, helping out these, like, this, like, colony of, like, homeless people. And then, like, really, like, it's just such a heartwarming show. And also, it's fucking hysterical. When Hitomi talks to her teacher, and she accidentally calls her mom, and then the teacher just responds, like, yeah, I'm your mommy. And it's just like, what?
Yeah, that was weird but hilarious.
It just, like, cuts to something else, and it's just like, oh my god, I love this show.
I mean,
or like when fucking Mao just, like, kicks the coconuts away, and she's like, you're just a bunch of stupid coconuts.
Yeah, the, like, complete Castaways treatment on that.
And then they turned into like two pieces of plot. I don't know. Like, this show is.
She was able to personify
ridiculous.
them more with her power. But one of my favorite scenes has to be the psychic duel off between Hina and Anzu
stuff.
Because some of the reactions in there were just, like, brilliant and hilarious. Like when Hina basically just snaps Anzu's neck, trying to get her to look to the right. It was, oh my god, Amanda Lee's reactions were just hilarious.
They shove each other's fingers up each other's noses. Like, it's just, the show is ridiculous. I love it so much.
So hard, like, up their nose so hard they touch their brain.
Yeah. So yeah, this show, oh my god. The manga is also really great too. I highly recommend the manga as well. Up next is probably, like, my favorite predecessor I'm so tired.
Successor?
It's late.
Successor.
It's almost 12.
I'm so tired. Also, I may or may not have, but blame the whiskey.
And drain.
Anyway, it's like a spiritual successor to MMO Junkie, but Wotakoi Love is Hard for an Otaku. Again, every season, yeah, Amazon has a show. I adore this show to pieces. I love the characters. I love how they're just, like, unapologetically nerdy in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. Like, Like, the girl is probably me. Like, I don't know, just, oh my god, like, there's just every single character is an otaku to some degree. Like, there's the woman that's, like, she's not just a fujoshi, she, like, cosplays, like, fujo characters, and then just gets, like, just, like, gives autographs to tons of screaming fangirls, and it's just fantastic.
And her boyfriend just, like, both supports it, but just gives her, like, the weirdest looks about it at the same time, which is, like, get you a guy who does that. There are so many get you a significant other memes about that show that like those memes could take on a show life of their own. But, like,
when she gets him to read that yaoi for the first time.
Yes.
And, like, he gets mad because he didn't end up with the guy that he wanted him to end up with. It's like, oh god, it's too perfect. Yeah, there's, like, tons and tons and tons and tons of, like, references in the show. Like, at one point, there's like a kaiji reference. There's, like, a of course there's a JoJo's reference. It's anime. Yeah, there's just so many. They're fantastic. There's, like, tons of Sailor Moon references. Like, I mean, it just goes on and on. So yeah, if you're sick and tired of, like, the 40,000th anime that takes place in a high school, this one takes place in an office with, like, actual working adults. So it's working people doing working things. It's just a really cute, adorable rom-com, kind of similar to MMO Junkie, except in this case they actually work in the same office building. Like, they're all in the same department. So it's kind of like a Gretzko, except everyone's human.
And if you aren't tired of high school, watch Real Girl.
And then next is, actually, we did an episode on this show, a few episodes ago, but that's Kakuryou, Spirit Bed and Breakfast. I've read the manga for this. It's a josei. It's, I guess, like, if you're a fan of, like, Kami-sama Kiss or Kami-sama Hajime Mashita, basically, except in this case, the girl is actually an adult. So imagine if, like, the office lady character got transported to another world. It's an isekai. Just kidding. Except nobody ends up in a video game.
Or with superpowers.
But yeah, basically, if Aoi had a superpower, it would be, like, cooking really, really, really good food.
Yeah.
I guess.
Her food does, like, somehow embody, like, spirit energy that empowers spirits, so maybe that is her. Maybe she does have a power.
I'm trying to briefly summarize my feelings, because we talked about this in depth on that episode, but essentially, a girl gets, like, spirited away to the, like, yokai realm, or, like, spirit realm, because her grandfather decided to use her as collateral for the tab that he rang up at this bed and breakfast. And instead of becoming the bride of like, this Tengu spirit, she's like, no, I'm gonna work off this debt, and I'm gonna make food, and I'm gonna do this my way. And she's just awesome. Like, she doesn't take anybody's shit. I want to eat all the food that they have on the show.
Yeah, do not watch this on an empty stomach. It'll just make you angry.
Yeah. Shout out to Emily Neves. She plays the main character.
And wrote the show.
And she did the scripts. I think that's all I have to say about that one. I guess next would be Tada Never Falls in Love. It's by the exact same team that did Nozaki-kun. And it's even like the same band that did the opening theme.
God, that show, I love it so much. Like, I had to skip ahead in the dub because, like, it was legit making me anxious about what's gonna happen with them.
You thought it was gonna go somewhere, and I told you it wasn't.
I know, but still, like, if I'm just like, okay, just back off and I'll be happy, but he was like, hey, I'm friendly and I'm gonna stick around, and all I can think was, okay, he's up to something. I've seen where these go, and he wasn't.
And I told you he wasn't. Anyway, this show's adorable. It's a cute foreign girl meets Japanese guy, I guess, who's like really like stoic and shows no emotions except he does for reasons. Anyway, the point is there's a really awesome cat in this show.
Cats are good.
Yeah,
and there's an entire episode that's from the cat's perspective, and whoever wrote this show clearly has a cat because everything about it is so realistic. Like, just to how cats think, to what it's like to own a cat. Like, there's a scene where Nyanko Big, like, just literally tries to, like, sit on Tada's face to get him to wake up to feed him, and, like, all this stuff. And it's just, or, like, how he has, like, the one favorite toy that's just completely annihilated.
They call that toy his girlfriend, because it's always with it. And
like, they try to get him a new one, and, like, he just refuses to play with it. It's fantastic.
Whoever did, and speaking of Nyanko Big, whoever did the casting, props for casting Javon Jackson as Nyanko Big, because that narration was just brilliant. It, like, the voice fit, but it didn't, and it just was perfect somehow. I could not get enough of his narration.
I think he's also Nyanta in Log Horizon, if I'm not.
Yeah, that's basically
correctly.
I'm pretty sure that was the joke behind casting him, because he's already has experience as a cat.
Cat experience, very valuable.
Prior job experience will get you anywhere.
And I guess my number one for that season is, of course, Megalobox.
Very good.
That show is banging. I'm watching it again on Toonami. The dub is really good.
How's the dub? I was gonna ask.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I'm very glad.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I love this show. I like the animations, but shout out to TMS.
Shout out to TMS.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, the soundtrack's fantastic. It's probably like the second anime this year to have a freestyle rap scene. Like, they put this weird, like, old school filter over it. It's just such a great throwback.
It has a very
It feels like a
gritty
90s
aesthetic.
anime.
It does. I love the trainer's character arc. Like, he to me.
Oh yeah, Nambu-san.
So Joe, I feel like a lot of times sports anime really leans into the cliches a lot, and not that Megalobox doesn't, but I do feel like Nambu, like, he really undercuts a lot of that, and how Joe is in a lot of ways a vessel for what the story wants to tell, and doesn't at times feel human, but his trainer did. Right, and I think that was huge for the show, and I thought it was an interesting way to write it. How Joe was just, at times I felt that Joe was just a way to move the plot, but you also root for him, and you like his story and the idea of fakes being the real thing. And I loved that. Like, I thought it was so genius the way that they use both, like, they made him into someone, like, they made him into the real thing, both because his characterization was done so purposefully, and by the trainer going from, like, a literal cheat and garbage guy to somebody that had morals to stand by, that lost his eye in the process. Both of them. I love that.
And I guess my honorable mentions, was this, like, this series of shorts called Michiri Neko. If you ever want to be healed, like, if you've just had a really crappy day, excuse me, and you just need something light and stupid and cute to watch. They're only like 3 minutes long. It's literally about a bunch of cats inside one of those like crane games, and they all have different personalities. It's like the greatest thing ever.
Aww.
Like, no, like seriously, watch it. It will heal you. It will heal you. And then next, only just because I couldn't fit it on this list because I can only pick 5, would be Golden Kamuy. Yeah, like I'm currently reading the manga. It's amazing. It's I think season like the second season is actually really increased in production values. No one's really talking about it anymore though. It's just kind of sad. But it's still really good.
True, it is. I like the Silence of the Lambs taxidermist guy. He's fun.
Oh God. Yeah, he puts the lotion in the basket for sure. Okay. Anyway, so that's it for me for spring.
Right, Jen, you go next because I want to blow everybody away with my number 1 pick. So I'll save myself for last. So you go next.
Okay then. So my number 5, My Hero Academia. Kind of surprising because I do make a lot of fun of it on Twitter, and it wasn't my favorite arc, but I was really light on spring. I only really watched.
Yeah.
There's a movie in my top 5, but I really only watched 4 shows in the spring, and Hero was not bad. I did enjoy the Bakugo retrieval arc, and Bakugo is my favorite character, so Bakugo getting spotlight was good. But I wasn't too big a fan of the summer training arc or the provisional license exams. So I thought it was a spotty season, but the bright points, like Bakugo and Deku's fight at the end, was just incredible, and it was Bones at their very best.
Yeah,
like that was like the You know what's funny? That's not even the best Sakuga in like a shonen anime this year, because Boruto episode 65 was like a who's who of animators. But damn it, if My Hero Academia did not try with that Bakugo and Deku fight. So
some of my favorite animation in that show involves Bakugo just doing his explosion thing. It is just so smooth and so articulate, and it's just fun to watch.
He's
pleasing
great
to the eye.
and the way that they animate him is great, because he's like, he is hissing defiance, right? Like he's a radiator that just hisses anger and defiance and fuck you. Like that's what he radiates, but he's in so much control while being so angry. So in the scene where the League of Villains is trying to get him and he's just trying to like stay away to buy All Might time, like his movements are expressed so like viciously and angry, but he's also in total control of everything that's going on, which is just done wonderfully by Bones.
Also, his parents are fantastic.
Oh, his mom.
Yes.
His dad is.
I love me.
Clearly, his mom wears the pants.
She's so
I love
good.
Mitsuki.
Mitsuki is like the best.
Mitsuki is best. Is new best mom.
You can still wear a skirt and be in charge. Just saying.
Can. And Bakushima this season was very good. Bakushima is a good ship.
Yes.
And Gang Orca.
Oh man, that ship exploded. Holy crap.
Oh yeah, my sister's like all aboard. She's like obsessed with Kiribaku, so I'm by extension.
I've gotten into so many arguments with so many people about who we ship.
Bakanari, anyone? Bakanari?
What's
No.
Bakanari?
Bakugo and Kaminari, his other
I don't
lackey.
like Kaminari. Kaminari's a loser. I just
I like his power.
I don't. The only things I don't ship are Bakugo and Deku, because I feel like that's really toxic, and I don't like Jiro and Kaminari because Jiro's a raging lesbian. Like, don't. Like, I don't know who they're kidding. You know, like Jiro and Momo, or just let that be.
Okay,
Yeah,
Jiro
like-
I could see, but Momo? Really?
No, yeah, Jiro.
Dude, are you kidding
Jiro
me?
Momo is an A+ ship. It's like, yeah,
No, Momo is gay.
yeah, capital G.
Okay, that's going to have to be a
Couch.
conversation for something else, because that went right by
Trust
me.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's like a thing.
Oh my god.
My number 4 is Hinamatsuri, and as I think we've said all we need to say, my favorite joke in Hinamatsuri, however, is the not cool when they if you haven't seen Hinamatsuri, you just need to get to the not cool scene. The noises, the voice acting. Now, I didn't watch it dubbed. I don't know if you saw it dubbed, Luna and Matt.
Yeah.
I watched both.
How was it dubbed? I was told on Twitter to stay away from the dub, and I like dubs a lot.
What?
Yeah,
The dub is awesome.
People said don't watch the dub, that the jokes don't translate. Like, I was yelled at by like my friends, like Zaria on Twitter, also a YouTuber.
Okay,
well,
yeah.
she's
A couple of jokes
super
don't.
anti-sub. She's super anti-dub.
A couple jokes don't, but
she's very like staunchly subtitled,
Yeah.
so that doesn't surprise me.
Also, the Funimation app is literally the worst thing in existence, so I would have got fury. The only reason I stopped watching Hinamatsuri dub is because the Funimation app got me furious, so I stopped.
I just use the website.
The website sucks too, man. Like, I was working on a Steins Gate video the other day, and I needed to rewatch a scene, and the website is so like clunky that I just went to YouTube and watched one of those scenes that it's like a tiny square in the bottom with like, you know, like a freaking nebula. You know what I'm talking about? How they have to make the screen
Yeah.
so that they don't get caught. It's so annoying.
I haven't had any issues with it, but that's neither here nor there.
I've had my fair share, but I usually use my Roku app.
I use my PS3 and it's horrible on the PS3. I'm on a crusade against Funimation right now.
I use my laptop.
No, I've heard that from multiple people. Like, for some reason, the PS3 version just sucks.
It's like, Luna, it's unusable. I'm telling you, it's unusable. There are times that I'm just like, I'm not using this. I'm paying for it, and I'm just like, I'm not using this. Number 3, Megalobox. We've said it's great. Watch it. It's a throwback anime and aesthetic and everything. I'm not a big boxing guy, but I really enjoyed Megalobox. And number 2, we haven't talked about it, Steins Gate Zero. I am huge Steins Gate trash, and Steins Gate Zero for me was a very odd experience because at times I felt it was better than its first season, and other times I felt it was total garbage. And it was a roller like changing directors was a really bad decision.
Yeah, that was awful.
I have no idea what they were doing. The choreo, it was just like, why would you, with such an important like intellectual property, like why would you just do that? Because clearly, the person who did it was not experienced. They think they've only done like 2 shows, not in the genre, and it was just handled poorly. Like, I thought the scenes, episode 8 for me is still probably one of the best of the year. That's when Okabe is reunited with Kurisu in a world line, and like the highs of Steins Gate Zero for me, my favorite scene is probably in Steins Gate. My favorite scene in the Steins Gate universe is probably in Steins Gate Zero, but also the scenes I think are horrible, like the worst in the show. So it really does like this balance of, wow, you're so good, and wow, you're so bad. Like, wow, but like the highs are so high and the lows are so low. So it was a very odd watching experience.
I've only played the visual novel for Zero, and I've seen like the first 2 episodes. And yeah, it's been a really mixed bag. I love the original.
The original's great.
Like,
So much.
one of my favorite shows probably fucking ever. Like, I love all the characters, and like it's so good. God
Before UFO, it was my favorite show. Like, that's how much I love Steins Gate that it took UFO to dethrone it.
I'm a little apprehensive about watching it because I've heard so many mixed opinions. I've heard people say it's great. I've heard people say it's like the worst thing ever.
It's not the worst thing ever, but at times it's just not.
But
it meanders. I've talked to people who have played and watched, and they said that they kind of meander in the middle. It's weird. The direction's not good. It's very heavy-handed.
My problem with it is we're just expected to know so much going into it. Like, it picks up after the movie Deja Vu, right?
No, the movie
sort of.
I mean,
okay, because we are expected to know way too much.
No, it's not continuous.
No,
like,
it's not.
Oh, even worse, because
it's not related
to
the movie.
It's like
it's its own world line. This is like a what if.
Because it didn't explain anything. Like, okay, suddenly Kurisu's dead, and we're like, okay, we're supposed to just accept this and move on. Like, no explanation.
I kind of disagree with you on that.
She fell into got pushed into the street or whatever.
No, it's like a what if of the region load of deja vu.
No, I thought it was pretty clearly explained in the beginning how this was a world line in which Okabe does not go back the second time. So Okabe first goes back and he kills Kurisu by mistake.
Yeah.
And then in the big thing, Mayuri convinces him to go back. And this is the world line where he doesn't go back, and the Kurisu that he loves, he killed. Yeah. So it branches off from that beta point into, and I don't know. I was ever confused. I thought that was, but I guess with time travel is weird, man.
Yeah. It basically branches off into the melancholy of Okabe Suzumiya. And then he becomes a goth. I'm just kidding. It makes sense in the game. I am curious to see how they execute it in the show. I am sad that the director isn't the same, because that director was so good.
He killed that. Like, he killed it. I thought the beginning of Steins Gate Zero was probably its strongest outside of its isolated like moments at the end, because I think it's a story about mourning. It's a story about loss. It's a story about sadness, and it's a story about love. And it just sets such a tonal heavy mood early on that something about Steins Gate that I think is so unique is that the only ones who have seen everything are the audience and Okabe. So you have this, you share something with Okabe that Daru, that Mayuri, that all these people can't, because only you and him understand, and he's really alone in all of this. So I think it's a great viewing experience. How right off the jump, you know how in love he is, and nobody knows who she is, and it's just like gutting. But the show's highs are so good though.
The one thing that did bother me though is somehow they made and this is in the game kind of but how apparently they decided to have Mayuri declare her undying love for Okabe.
I didn't interpret it that way
several times.
No, I mean, she says I love Okabe, I love Hoen Kyoma, but I mean, like, I don't know. I say I love my friend.
That's how it is in the game. In the game,
she doesn't.
It's
I don't
not
think it was implied
declaration.
romantically. Yeah, no, it wasn't implied romantically. I mean, it was like my best friend, the one who's most important to me, is lost. Like, he's not himself. Like, something has happened, and that scene where Mayuri's saying like I love him more than Makise Kurisu. Like, that's like
Yeah, that's
I got both romantic and as a friend vibes from that.
That part's straight out of the game too.
I got as a friend vibes, but I can see how somebody could interpret. Twitter was kind of mixed on it, but
yeah, Twitter was going bonkers.
Dub was as good as ever though. J. Michael Tatum and Trina Nishimura,
like the acting was on point as always.
That's my favorite dub. I think that and Fate Zero are probably my two favorite dubs.
It's one of the few shows I will watch in both languages, and I also kind of wish I could like mix and match. In some cases, I wish I could just have Mamoru Miyano just speaking English the entire time.
They changed Mayuri's voice actress toward the end.
Yeah, they kind of had to. Unfortunately, Ashley Birch had scheduling conflicts.
Yeah,
so
and
they
that
had
was
to switch her out.
Super unfortunate, but
Megan Shipman stepped in perfectly though. Like, I honestly probably couldn't have told the difference if I hadn't heard the announcement. Like, she nailed that matching. My
sister and I had a conversation that her voice sounds like the previous Mayuri, but we didn't feel like she was as good as an actor. So we had the conversation, would you rather have somebody who sounds like her or someone who's a better actor but sounds differently?
I suppose. I mean, Ashley does have more experience than Megan, so
Ashley was great. I mean, Megan filled in nicely, but I did think that it was unfortunate that she left right around the time that Mayuri's big character moment happened. So
a lot of it probably has to do with the fact that, because this is a broadcast dub or simuldub or whatever the hell they're calling them now, you know, she not only has to fill this one character, but not really knowing anything about this character and then having to like step in, I can
rough.
understand.
It's
that
rough.
She said she had to.
really
She said she
difficult.
binged like the entire first season before stepping in, so it wasn't like she was coming in blind.
Yeah, but just there is a difference. Working on a show for like almost a year, and like really getting to know a character,
Ashley
and then
had
having to like
been with it from the
binge
start.
something in like 2 weeks before you have to step into the mic. Anyway,
Everyone's hoping that Ashley can come back for the home video release.
That would be.
I mean, she probably can. There's way more wiggle room in that schedule than with the broadcast schedule.
It's tight, man. Like, I'm surprised that they do such. I mean, I don't know if J. Michael Tatum wrote the script again, but the script was outstanding.
no, he didn't.
Nope.
He didn't.
Emily
didn't
wrote
get-
that script. Emily Neves did the script for that.
It was very good though. It was very good. The dub was just exceptional quality from top to bottom. And my number one
think-
anime. Oh, go. No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I think she consulted with him a lot though.
That's his baby. Like, I've talked to him at
Yeah.
cons, and he lights up talking about Steins Gate, and he is so invested in the writing and everything about it. Like, I love how much he loves Steins Gate. J. Michael
Yeah,
Tatum is the best.
Talk about any show he's written, especially Steins Gate, but he will just like go off on like a rocket on just about any show he's written.
I've never
But
talked
Steins
to.
Gate is where he really just goes nuts with passion. He was dedicated.
He's such a cool guy to talk to at cons. Like, I've had
yeah.
nothing but good experiences with him.
He is one of the nicest people I've ever met.
So nice. Like, I'm so glad that he's in this industry and community, because I admire his work so much, and he seems like a really, really good guy.
We love you, Tatum.
Tatum, you're the man. Shout out to Tatum.
Yeah, shout out to Tatum. Taters.
So my number one should come as no surprise to anybody who follows me on Twitter for at least 5 minutes. Hibike Euphonium's latest film, Liz and the Bluebird.
I still need to see it. We didn't
I'm
get
not-
any showings, and it was
I
heartbreaking.
didn't get anyone here. I have to see it at AX. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to talk spoiler free.
Yeah, actually, 2 of my friends actually got to see it at AX, so that was really awesome. But I will see it when I am able to see it.
I have to rewatch it. I've been waiting for the right moment. After Yamada did Silent Voice, I didn't think that she could do anything better. I thought Silent Voice was the peak of artistically what she can do. I thought top to bottom, storyboards, everything was just adaptation. Just everything in Silent Voice was as good as Yamada can get. Kensuke Ushio, the composer for Silent Voice, I thought this partnership is amazing, and this is the pinnacle of art. It was my favorite film. It was, to me, one of the most important anime I'd ever seen. And then I saw Liz and the Bluebird this year, and I could not believe that she A, outdid herself, and B, that Kensuke Ushio outdid himself with the music. And how in 2 hours you get such a human story of love, of loss, of growing up, of moving on, of every encompassing feeling that is critical in that juncture of your life, that is told with so few words in the most Yamada and KyoAni way possible. And I cannot speak enough on what a seminal piece of art that I feel like this film is. And it's not just because I love UFO, although that is part of it, but I've never seen anything like that. It was like you were watching two people in like behind a two-way mirror. It felt that personal. At times it felt what you were watching you shouldn't be seeing, because of how deeply personal it is to the characters and the kind of story and the way that Yamada tells it. And it was just, I'm so happy that movie exists. I am so happy that I've gotten to write about it. I'm so happy that people are enjoying it in the numbers. Like, I've not heard a bad thing said about Liz, and I could talk about Liz for 4 hours because I just think it's that damn good of a movie. And for me to consider it might be my favorite thing, like UFO. Like, that's how good I think the movie is. And everyone knows how important Kumiko and Rena's story is to me, and how much I love the parent story. But Liz and the Bluebird is a masterpiece, and it is Naoko Yamada and Kensuke Ushio's magnus opus. Like, those, like, take a damn bow. Like, that was, I can't say enough about that movie. If you can't tell, I really, really like UFO.
I got like a little bit of a feeling there. Yeah, just a little,
just like a
hint
tinge,
there.
just like a.
If
like it might be, he might have like a little interest in it, just a little bit,
slightly.
like if
like
I
a
didn't,
hobby.
if I didn't have my Twitter avatar at the moment, I think Gian probably would have stolen it from me by now.
It's so good. It's Rena being Makise Kurusu, which is like my peak brand.
And she's holding a trumpet.
She's so good. She's so good in the movie. Oh my god. It is just everything I love about UFO in a film. And again, I haven't seen a single person say a bad thing about it.
I know I've seen the trailer like 40 times, and the trailer's really pretty.
The performances in the movie are just like,
if they add more showings, if we get showings, if it comes out on Blu-ray, I will watch the crap out of it. But we did not get any showings. We are getting another showing of A Silent Voice, though.
yes, which kind of makes me scared for a home release, because why would they show more in theaters and not give us the Blu-ray? So that's kind of worried me.
I feel like there's been a lot of licensing issues with it, because and it might be because of the songs. I'm not entirely sure.
But Under the Scope made the point that in England they would have had the same issue because the laws are so similar, and that got done no problem. So you're still hoping that Liz gets licensed, because Silent Voice has scared me with 11 Arts and everything that they've done. So
yeah.
All right.
My 2 honorable mentions would be, now I haven't seen Kaze-san, but I have to see Kaze-san, and it's an OVA it's a Yuri OVA that I have to see, that I'm putting it there because I know it would be there. I just know that I'm going to love it. And Mirai is the other one, because Mirai was good.
Right.
Mirai was incredible.
Okay, so my top 5 for spring, starting with number 5, Uma Musume, because you've heard of, because Concole brought us Boat Girls, Brave Witches, Strike Witches brought us Plain Girls, and now Uma Musume brings us Horse Girls. And
this cycle has completed itself.
And it is just getting started, according to Azur Lane. And it's girls who, it's glorified track and field, but everything is just so vibrant in it, from the colors to the characters, that you just love it every time. And yes, they're running, but I was freaking cheering for some of the characters, like, go!
Oh, by the way, this is something that has plagued me for a while. Okay, so it's like, they're not just like horses, they're like the reincarnation of these racehorses. And I just wonder, like, imagine being an expectant mother and getting the news that your child is now going to bear ears, a tail, and hooves.
Well, it was so normal. I actually thought about that, but it's become so normalized that it's basically like having a quirk in MHA. Like,
not in this society.
Okay, this is a horse girl. It's
like, imagine if that was in our society.
Yeah, you have a good point there. But I guess, like, since there's enough consistency in it somewhere that it's like, oh, okay, cool, and just fun there. But yeah, I liked, they did something similar, like in Kantai Collection, where each girl was the embodiment of a Japanese warship, like the Fubuki or the Yamato or the Yukikaze. Or no, Shimakaze, I'm sorry.
I was going to say
Shimakaze. And so it's a similar idea where it's like, this girl is Special Week, this girl's Cymbeline Rudolph, and this girl's, I forget who the girl who injured herself was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, anywho. Silent Suzuka. I guess, yeah, it was same idea, just horses instead of boats. And I just it was really underrated. I'm bummed it didn't get licensed over here, and because it was just a lot of fun. It was because there were idol performances after every race, which just was par for the course. Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, watch it. Uma Musume, Horse Girls, good stuff. Number 4, Hina Matsuri. We've talked about that. It made me hungry for salmon roe. Number 3, Amanchu and slash Amanchu, or this time it would be Amanchu Advance. Like I said, I'm a newly discovered Iyashikei junkie.
I liked and disliked the second season. Zaria goes into a little bit of detail about it, why in one of her videos, but I don't know, just when they introduced a new character, it really kind of ruined certain things about it for me.
I've seen the complaints amongst our Twitter circle. There were very many when it happened.
Yeah,
I can understand why
other
there would
than
be.
that, I still really like the series a lot. I'm just gonna pretend like mostly the first season just exists over the second season.
Yeah, I started on the second season because I didn't realize there was a first season, so I didn't mind the new character so much before I watched the first season, and then because I just thought, okay, they're making a new friend, and then after I saw how much they built up their relationship during the first season, I'm like, okay, why are they introducing her now? It just seemed odd, but I like the giant grandpa. That guy was a lot of fun, and again, just a great, as an Iyashikei, it's a great show to mellow out to. Just fun, relaxing.
And if you want, it's okay. This time I actually am using the correct word. Its predecessor, Aria, the animation, is by the same author, and the Kickstarter was very successful. I actually got my copy of the Blu-ray for season 1. I've already watched it like 12 times. The dub
it's not even available for the public yet.
Yeah, I know. The Blu-ray, the dub is really good so far. I'm enjoying it. I like that the different cats sort of carry over into Amanchu.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed when I saw the visuals for Aria. Like, oh, they clearly are. There's clearly a connection. And then yeah. But yeah, Amanchu, great, relaxing, cute show. Number 2, we also discussed Kakario, Bed and Breakfast for Spirits. Since it's so food based, I like to call it Cookario because I'm stupid like that. And I said I wanted to save my number 1 pick for last because it's so just awesome. Luna, I know it's one of your absolute favorites that you just refuse to admit. High School DxD Season 4. Your crickets are palpable on your ends. I love the series. Yes, I know it's ecchi. It's tasteful ecchi. Good story and characters otherwise, and I actually mean that. That's not a euphemism for boobs. I genuinely enjoy the characters. They're fun. They're relatable. Great fight scenes, and just good stuff overall. So yeah, I can see you guys checking your phones while I'm talking now. I hate you so much right now.
A good co-host keeps you honest.
Yes, she does. So yeah, I am clearly in the minority on this one.
I've never seen a frame of High School DxD.
And that
Really?
it probably won't have any effect on your life at all.
I have no idea what it even looks like. I don't even. It's an ecchi, right?
It's very
there's a red-haired
boobalicious.
chick you've probably seen somewhere, like on a body pillow at a con. That's probably the most exposure you've had.
It's very, very boobalicious.
I've gathered. Let's see. High School DxD.
I like High School of the Dead. That's also because it has
That was
zombies.
good too. Zombies.
I
and
thought they were the
boobs.
same thing. Oh
No.
yeah, I've seen her.
Yeah.
Different licensing, different dubbing companies even.
Yeah.
I've seen her.
High School of the Dead's good too though. A lot more action.
Zombies.
Too bad season 2 never happened. R.I.P. the mangaka.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
right. Probably anyway.
Hey everyone, Tim from Shui Media here, letting you know that we have a new show premiering in 2019 called Bands We Love to Hate. The show is hosted by singer-songwriter and host of the Schwegcast on Shui Media, Sam Schwegler, and myself. Each month, Sam and I will take a band that we as society have deemed just awful and give them one final listen to see if they're actually deserving of all this hate. And this show won't go without its research. Sam and I will be listening to arguably too much of their music, as well as watching the majority of their music videos and some live performances as well, assuming we are alive at the end of it. And you can join in on the research too. Since the show is going to be premiering at the end of every month, at the beginning of the month we will be posting the band we are going to be listening to, as well as some links to the research that we will also be doing. I know, can't you just wait to listen to Smash Mouth and Creed and Sum 41? Oh boy, I can't. Oh god, what have I done? For more information, you can find us on social media, like on Twitter at BWLTH, and on Facebook at Bands We Love to Hate, as well as just going to our website, bandswelovetohate.com, or visiting shwaymedia.com for more details on this new show and all the other new Shui shows coming out in 2019. Thank you all so much for listening, and don't forget to check out Bands We Love to Hate premiering on Shui Media on January 31st, 2019. And now, back to the show.
And we're back.
Okay, doke. We're just gonna like speed run, like gotta go fast through these
Yeah,
next
list
two.
your top 5. List your top 5. Pick one to talk about briefly, and
Yeah.
then move on.
Yeah, pretty much, because we gotta wrap it up here.
We're already over 2 hours.
Well, like, okay, so for summer, yeah, I'm just gonna start listing them off. Cells at Work, because I like medicine-y things. That is what I study. So, of course, I am naturally drawn to this show. Medicine-y things. Of course, Asabi Asabase, which is just demented and ridiculous, and I loved it so much. Really, really underrated show, but I think it's because not very many people really knew what it was. But we rent Tsugumogami, really cute show. Love the animation. The art was done by Riri Hoshino, and she did the artwork for Penguin Drum.
Shout out to Penguin Drum.
And then how many did I just do? 3?
3.
Was that 3?
I lost count.
I lost
I
count
got you,
too.
Luna. 3.
Okay, cool. Okay, my last 2 are Review Starlight and Planet With. I adore Review Starlight. There's an entire podcast about it that y'all can go listen to. But
Link me to that, please.
link you to your own podcast. Okay.
Oh, I thought you did a podcast. I was excited for that.
No, yeah.
No.
I was like, I did
Y'all's
see a.
podcast.
I wonder that too. I'm thinking, wait, when did we do this episode? Because I haven't even seen.
Because I
show.
looked through before I came on. I was listening to you guys a bit today, and I was like, which episode do I want to listen to? And then if there was a Review Starlight one, I for sure would have listened to that one.
No. Sorry, I should have clarified that. Anyway. Yeah, no, that show is just... The Nana Daiba episode is my favorite.
Which one?
That's the time loop. That blew my fucking mind.
So fucking good.
It still haunts me. It's so good. God, it's so good.
I love that show so much. You don't understand. Well, you see my Twitter timeline. Of course you understand.
I have to say it now, but I understand. Wakarimasu.
Did you watch the dub? I watched both.
I watched both too. It's fantastic. Yeah. Summer was good. It was very review and Star Lady and Planet With,
Planet With was good.
I was like one of like 12 people that actually watched it.
This was a show about everything.
It's so... I'm a huge fan of that author. I mean, like, I love Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer and Spirit Circle. It was fantabuloso.
I'm so glad I saw it too. It was great. Incredible.
Okay, so, Matt?
I'll go next. Number 5 for me, Cells at Work, because it was just fun and cute and all that good stuff, and I learned about the body. Number 4, Hanabado, because the story was fine. The main character was like watching a fiery train wreck in slow motion, but after you think it crashes, it gets back on the rails somewhat.
To crash again.
Maybe, but yeah, the characters in that were just, oh my god, there was so many of them needed therapy.
But like the thing with Hanebado was like Nagisa was an incredible character, and
got
so
no
was
arc,
and so was Elena, and so was Rico. Like those, like when the show would focus on their characters, it was an amazing show. And then when it decided that it wanted to go to Ayano's stupid plot, the show was ridiculous.
Ayano needs help.
She
That's
needs a
all
lot.
I can
Everybody
say.
needs help, but her.
Like, oh my god, those yandere eyes will haunt my dreams.
I have a meme of her eyes.
You've shown me that meme before whenever I say something stupid in our chats. And then after that, Angels of Death, because because existentialism and morbidity and Stockholm syndrome apparently go hand in hand. It's a decent show. It gets deep. Great acting by everyone in there. It's Dallas Reed and anime newcomer Meg McLean, and they're really good. Number 2, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, because the English dub makes it the perfect balance of cute and isekai trash. It is just, I love the characters, but the story is just like, why? Yeah. And then my number 1, the one that is Chio's School Road, because it is...
That was actually my honorable mention. I just forgot to talk about it.
It is freaking hilarious. Like, Michaela Krantz, Emily Fajardo are just like on fire in this show. There were times I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. I had to stop the episode and just like remember to breathe.
I think if it weren't for the dub, I would be recommending the manga all the way. Just because I felt like the show, just production value wise, just was really lacking. But the dub is very funny.
Yeah, the writing in the dub. Leah Clark did the scripts, and oh my god, she was just completely at home in that show. Like that was there's a reason that was my favorite show of summer. Just perfection. Right.
Probably already know what Gianni's favorite show of summer is, but
so my number 5, I do want to mention very, very quickly that Boruto episode 65 aired in summer, and it was one of the best shonen episodes I've ever seen. And Boruto's Chunin exam arc, just as an arc that aired in summer, was just incredible. Like it is probably the best, maybe the best Naruto universe arc. It was that damn good. Like, I just wanted to give that a quick shout out, because it was just everything that I wanted it to be. And a quick plug, I will be making a video about that for 12 Days of Anime, so check that out. My number 5, Hanebado. Ayano's a train wreck. Nagisa's good. Riko's good. Elena's good. Incredibly animated. What a great production.
Beautiful dumpster fire.
Beautiful dumpster, like the most beautiful dumpster fire That's what it should be called. Matt, thank you. That is an excellent
I
Twitter
tried.
quote. The beautiful dumpster fire.
I tried.
Attack on Titan. Probably my favorite season of Attack
It was
on Titan.
banging, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I freaking loved
Rhinestone
Kenny.
Murder Cowboy.
I love Kenny too.
Rhinestone Murder
Kenny
Cowboy.
was
so good.
I love him.
And this and that whole scene with Levi just like turning his ODM gear itself into a weapon, like to shoot through the guy's temples and all
badass,
that was like one of the most well
like,
choreographed air scenes I've ever seen in that show.
I just like the fact that he actually said na 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 na. Like I died. I love
Kenny
him.
is like the best. Historia hitting Eren on the side of the head and screaming
girl.
at him.
Yes,
She's
Historia
fucking
is
amazing.
my
and like
hero.
judo flipping her dad.
Yeah.
It was I
She's
guess
like,
with
I'm
the amount of
worst girl.
Before this season aired, when they were releasing like the promotional art and stuff, and you see Kenny and Levi facing off, just instinctively all I could think was, "Oh my god, they cast Kenny."
I think I tweeted out when I saw the promotional poster. It said, "Why is Billy Ray Cyrus mad at Levi?" Like, what are we doing?
So like I read the manga, so like I know it's coming, and I'm
I do too.
really excited.
And Isayama said the manga's winding down too, so we're a couple seasons away from the big ending.
Actually, they revealed the final page.
Oh,
Yeah.
did they? I didn't. I'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll have to see that.
He's done so. Don't spoil anything. My sister reads a manga too, so
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say anything, but
I have
seen
some
the final
deaths
page yet.
spoiled for me already, so I'm really pissed about that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
bad news.
I'll DM you exactly who and why I'm so mad.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
They'll be
and
dead
then,
by morning.
That's the Attack on Titan. Oh, I also love that we got more Jean because we haven't had a lot of Jean.
Dude, okay. Literally, favorite fucking thing ever is when he squares off with Marlo and he's like, yeah, well, why would anyone in their right mind get that haircut? And then fucking, like, Hitch just comes up from the side and just beams the shit out of him.
So good.
I fucking died. Oh my god.
I'm so glad that I can laugh with people about Attack on Titan because, like, I never
It's
talk about
so-
it, but it's like it's so
what?
fucking delightful.
Yeah, the comedy scenes in it are just pure gold. Like
fucking
it's
Rod
just like
Rice
the
is
contrast in that,
slinky.
but at the same time, like they are genuinely funny and well written. Like they are the greatest like tension breakers ever.
It's so good, and I love Armin, and Armin had a really good scene.
Must
in
protect
the early
Armin.
parts.
Armin is. I love him.
I would die for Armin. He's
Um,
the best. So I'm glad that we got to nerd out about Attack on Titan. My number 3, Planet With. Planet With was very, very good. Production, not so much. As a story, excellent.
yeah.
So step up, JC Staff. I know you can do better.
He really knows how to like pace a story. And
I thought it was too fast at times. I thought that, like, I feel a lot of times so I felt this way about Steins Gate Zero, that Steins Gate Zero had to be 2 cores, so it couldn't be like 20 episodes. It had to be 24 or 25 for television. And I feel like Planet With also had that problem that probably at 15 or 16 episodes, it would have been a lot better. But because they had to decide between 1 or 2 core, they had to either jam it a little or space it out. So that's why I kind of like the Netflix model a little bit, because it allows something like Devilman Cry. I always call it Devilman Crybaby to have, 10 episodes, a kind of a weird number. Monogatari is the only show I can think of that just like does whatever the fuck it wants.
yeah.
But so Planet With, excellent, a little fast for me, but all in all, just amazing show.
By the way, if you say Monogatari 3 times in front of a mirror, John will appear.
John or Notes?
Notes.
I guess that's John, right? Yeah. Notes. Okay, good.
I'm trying
his
to
name?
for this.
He'll be leaving a comment on the podcast. He has like a Monogatari censor. Notes has a gift of making anything into Monogatari. It's art. I don't know how he does it, but he just weaves it in.
No, it's like the little like receptor. Like he has like this little receptor, like the white blood cells.
It's Araragi's hair antenna is what it is.
Yeah,
and then it detects. My number 2 was Banana Fish. which oddly my mom is watching Banana Fish with me, and she's all in on Banana Fish. She's all in on Ash and Eiji. Ash is Impossible White Man. He's like Jack Bauer.
I need to watch that show. I've heard good things.
Ash is gay Jack Bauer.
I read the manga years ago.
That's also slow for me.
Like fucking years ago. And I was so glad it finally got a fucking adaptation. Cool story. The director of that was the director of the first 2 seasons of Free, which unfortunately she did not return for the 3rd season, which is why the 3rd season kind of sucked.
But the Yamada episode was good.
Yeah, that was really good.
She always is good. And my number 1 comes as no surprise. Review Starlight. I love my stage girls. I have a video about it. If you want to hear my thoughts, check that out at Subtitled Anime on YouTube. Review Starlight's a critique of the Takarazuka theater system, and it does so rather brilliantly with great characters, great ships, Kuromaya forever. And please watch Review Starlight. It's on H-Dive. It's very, very good. The dub is good. The sub is good. The songs are good. The insert songs are good. It's such a stacked year in anime for me that like it's not even my number 1 because of how much I love Liz. But damn it, it's an all-time favorite of mine.
And now this season.
Yeah, I guess we can segue right into fall. This has been a really good season so far. I'm really glad. To the point where I had so many shows that I had to drop several of them just because I just didn't have time. I just did not have time.
These shows are taking up most of my time.
Number 5 will come at absolutely zero surprise to anyone. But it's my wonderful Archer boys in Tsurune. Man, KyoAni just is so KyoAni.
Can we talk about the year that they had? Because they have Tsunade, they had Liz, they had the Chunibyo
Violet
movie,
Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden, a free season. Like they've done a freaking lot this year.
Yeah, I'm like, and I mean the thing is like they space out their projects. So like some of these projects, so like Violet Evergarden, they started production in like 2015, which is when the first promotional video dropped, with that piece of paper that just kind of floats into nowhere forever. But man, they just knock it out of the park.
Bang, bang, bang. Violet Evergarden, Chunibyo movie, Liz, free. Soon, like how are they doing this with the quality that they do it like in a timely fashion? It's incredible.
How do they stay so on point?
Because they start everything like 5 years in advance.
They're the anti-procrastinators.
Yeah, basically.
They make all of us look bad.
Can we talk about how handsome Masa is? Because he's gorgeous.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, he's
him.
the only character that's actually an adult, so I get to think he's hot.
That's what. Thank you. That's why I'm like, oh, he's an adult and he's hot. Yes.
And he has a pet owl.
He does. And his man bun is so glorious.
So the reveal in the second episode had me dying.
Oh my god, that was so well done.
Pun totally intended. That literally had me dying.
I was fooled.
I was like, wait, no, not the hot guy. Oh, never mind.
We're good. We're good here.
No, I was laughing my ass off. It was so. I love him. I love him so much. And of course, the asshole character has to be named Kachan.
He's so on brand. My sister did she's obsessed with Hero, and she was watching me watch it, and she goes, "Wow, they just made Bakugo like a little archer, huh?" And I go, "Yeah, pretty much."
Yeah. Way less explosion murder.
The girls are good.
The girls are savage, and I love them.
They're amazing. Quality.
They're so good. I kind of want them to get their own little spin-off.
Me too. Give them an OVA at least.
Yeah, seriously. And also, please make an entire show about Masa. Thanks.
Please.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Please. I want him to hold me in his big chest.
Oh my god, when he takes off part of his hat. Oh my god.
Yes, I'm like, Jesus, you're so gorgeous. What the hell?
I couldn't handle it. I just can't handle it. My poor Fujiwara.
We're thirsting over Masa on this podcast. Kyoani had
I'm just enjoying watching this. You guys are fun to watch when you're geeking out like that.
Let me tell you, Kyoani had a great year for handsome men between Claudia and Violet Evergarden and Masa. Like, they're killing it. And Taki's not a bad looking guy either. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so next is SSS Gridman. This show is paced so well, and it's kind of almost cinematic. I love all just this every single. It's like every frame really is a painting.
The backgrounds are incredible. The backgrounds are
Lindsay Seidel is killing it in that show.
God, it's so good.
My favorite Gridman theory is since the mains are named Yuta and Rika, I've heard people try to theorize that it is nothing, that it is just one of their like big ass Chunibyo ideas. Like they're just like shit. They're just like spitballing about like trying to write something together and spitballing, and they're creating Gridman in the process and putting themselves in the story.
Honestly, that would not surprise me in the absolute slightest if it just like revealed that like
the crossover we deserve.
Seriously,
right?
No, like the animation is so gorgeous. Like I fucking love this show so much.
That scene where Rika she comes out of her house and she's talking to Yuta, and it's Yuta's trying to tell her to apologize, and the character acting of her like fidgeting with her hand and her kind of like it's just like Trigger has surprised me with the production. It's been so good.
I think there's one scene in crap. I don't remember which episode it is. Whatever. It's the one where like she and Akane sort of quote unquote switch places, and they like kind of like meet each other for the first time, quote unquote. Yeah. And there's this really interesting dialogue between Rika and Akane, and it's just, it's so creepy, but it's so good. It's so good.
Akane's the glasses girl, the evil glasses girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay,
she's
I can never remember names sometimes.
Akane is Lindsay Seidel's character.
The dub is also excellent.
Especially I have to give mad props to Lindsay Seidel, in that, because she is just, I have chills every time I hear Akane speak in the dub. She is just perfect.
It's a great dub.
Wonderful.
Next is Bloom Into You. Finally, we get to make up for the absolute
citrus.
The
disaster.
Just flaming vitamin C enriched disaster that was citrus. Oh, hey, God.
The one thing about Citrus, though, is everyone thought it was so good because before that we got Valkyrie Drive, and
that
so that by comparison, Citrus looked good. I mean, it just purely as the Yuri genre. Valkyrie made Citrus look tolerable.
I will add a caveat to that. If you're very well versed in Yuri, though, there's a very staunch difference.
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying progression.
You know what annoys me about Citrus is that, so Crunchyroll actually did a good job promoting it, which was kind of an issue because a lot of people were either introduced to the Yuri genre like that, or it really nailed home a lot of preconceptions about it that are harmful and dangerous and that are toxic. And I don't think that, obviously, like Crunchyroll is going to market their shows, right? And they're going to lean into the, the gayness and the queerness of Citrus, but like it's also like incredibly problematic, and it's like it could be very triggering for people. And the fact that they unfortunately did such a good job of promoting it, and I know it was one of their most watched shows that season, it's like it almost does more harm than good. Like you're getting like this not great representation that is harmful and abusive. And that I know I've talked to people who have read the manga like Zaria, and she says, well, like there is some sort of like there's fixing and reclamation, but not that we're going to get in the anime. So most people are not going to, most people in the West are not going to pick up the manga and read Citrus. They're just going to go away with this. Like, A, it gives bad notions about anime, and B, it's just harmful representation for, queer women don't have a lot of positive representation in anime.
Yeah, for sure.
More times than not, yaoi is portrayed. I mean, we're talking about Banana Fish and Yuri on Ice and stuff like that. Like that's more mainstream than anything for women. So that kind of really bothered me. So now with Bloom Into You, it's something a lot more positive. Although I have thoughts on that, but I'll let you go.
I adore Bloom Into You. The characters are so relatable and so realistic in so many different ways, and I don't think you have to, I've talked about this a little bit with elsewhere with my lesbian experiences with loneliness. Like, you don't have to be gay to relate to these characters. Like, yes, there will be specific things that I think like the queer community are more likely to pick up on, but I think just in general feelings of like being really awkward and like not understanding what it means to like fall in love and things like that, I think are very universal.
I definitely related to some of those feelings. I could definitely empathize with both characters.
Yeah.
I love Sayaka's story, like how she knows Nanami better than anyone, probably except for you, but she also in a way wants to chase that perfection that she knows isn't real, both personally and because she's in love with Nanami. And how, we've all had, a lot of us have had unrequited love, and how God, that cut in the OP where Sayaka like puts her hand out and then Nanami's like going away, like it's just it's so painful.
That hit
so
me in the
real.
heart. I know.
Sayaka's episode got me.
Also, we have the escape from Class S hell, where we have actual adult lesbians that are amazing partners that are just so adorable. Like last episode, they were in full bloom, no pun intended. They were being so great, and like every time they're on screen together, it's like, that meme, it's like elder gay helps younger gay.
Yeah
It's like, it's literally that, and it's just incredible. They're so good.
I think they're my favorite part of the entire show.
Yeah,
they're incredible.
It caught me by pleasant surprise, just that it would, because I like it when you can, I like it when you can't, when like you can't tell basically like what that person is like, and then just casually, oh yes, she has a girlfriend. I like it when it's just so, just, I don't want to say simplified, but just so natural. Like natural is a terrible word to say for that, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Everybody, watch Aohana if you like Bloom Into You. Sweet Blue Flowers. It's on Crunchyroll.
Yes!
It's a very positive, wonderful Yuri show. Fumi is important, and please watch that because it's another really positive show. Not Bloom Into You, but Bloom Into You has over it more than anything is just stellar production, like animation, the storyboarding, the directing is just like phenomenal. Like it's doing KyoAni things better than KyoAni this season, like just flat out.
Yeah.
Like the archery, we love our archery boys, but I just think what Bloom Into You is doing in terms of character acting, in terms of framing, is just exactly what KyoAni thrives on, and they're just doing it better, and it's like incredible.
And then I haven't actually gotten to see it, but I have read the manga for Kaze-san and Sweet Morning Glories.
I'm excited to see that.
It's so good. Like, the manga is fantastic. I haven't actually seen it. Some friends got to see it at AX, and I was really jealous. God, where am I? Okay. I think this is my number 2. Of course. Oh my god, big shock. Zombieland Saga.
Woo! Saga.
Oh god, this show is banging.
Can we
Love
talk
it.
about how Kotaro is like the best ally ever, and he's also like a total shithead?
Okay, first of all, he is Mamoru Miyano. Like, this character is literally created for him. Like, he looks like him. It's...
Oh, hello, gozaimasu.
Like, God, I love him so much.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's how Miyano just like wakes up in the morning, like sits up in bed. Ohayou gozaimasu.
Oh,
his
did you
wife
see
is
how
like,
he's playing Spider-Man?
Come on.
I'm sure his wife has told him to shut up at least once at that point.
Never. Did you see how he's playing Spider-Man?
Yes.
Okabe is playing Ho and Kiyoma is playing Spider-Man. Like, we made it, people.
Wait, where in the game or
in the movie?
Oh shit, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it? I'll tweet it to you. The trailer is they use the Psycho-Pass like sound or whatever, the song from the Psycho-Pass movie in the trailer or the OP or whatever, and it's like incredible.
I had no idea. That's awesome.
It's like
so
it's
good.
the most badass trailer ever.
Sweet.
It's so good. Yeah, this show is fucking awesome. It's everything about it. I love all the characters. The humor's great. I love the music. Not that big into idol shows, but this is probably my favorite. I think the only other idol show that I've followed this closely is actually a male idol show, and it's the one bit of Fujo trash that I've admitted to following this closely, but that's Utapri or Utano Prince Sama. Yeah.
You should follow Star Mew.
I have watched part of it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's take it or leave it.
Anyway, I could go on about that for fucking ever, and we'd be here forever. So, on to my number one, which will also surprise absolutely no one. This is currently my favorite show of this entire season. Run with the Wind. The show is incredible. Okay, Production IG is fucking banging it. Like, oh my god. So this is based on a novel. And it's actually the same author as this show from a while back called The Great Passage. Yeah, it's the same author.
It's so good.
The same author.
Great Passage is like, I've never listen. That fucking show made me cry
beautiful.
For choice of paper. They chose the paper. For
Matt, you would really
dictionary.
like this show. It's about them making a dictionary,
sobbing,
and it's all about words.
Interesting.
It's all about words.
It's about fucking words and tears. And for some, let me tell you something. The greatest accomplishment in the history of anime, the greatest triumph. It's not Evangelion. It's not Cowboy Bebop. It's not Akira. It's the fucking Great Passage making me sob uncontrollably because of a fucking dictionary. That's how damn good that show is.
Damn.
I'm sorry. It's just like, I can't.
The Great Passage, noted.
Yeah, it's by Shiwan Miura, and so she also wrote Run with the Wind. This is such a beautiful show. I love all the characters. Akane, aka the Prince, is just a constant mood for how much
he's the best.
For how much I hate exercising. I love him, and every time they practice, he wears a shirt that literally just says "Why," and it's my favorite thing in the entire show. Yeah, so it's not really a traditional sports anime. It's very character driven, and I think it's not just about them wanting to win, to run in this like marathon and win this marathon or whatever, and they probably won't win it. But it's really just about how all of them practicing for this marathon and disciplining themselves to like run every day has somehow given them a sense of stability and structure in their lives. And this is actually true. Like I can back this up with psychology, which I have a degree in. So I like know a thing or two about this, but it is true.
I was good at it in high school.
It is true though that if you research has shown that if you strive towards a set of goals or one particular goal, and you have like a certain routine that you follow to work up towards that goal, that stability and that structure will start to permeate in other aspects of your life. And that's kind of what's happening in this show. They're all kind of becoming better people, because they're all trying to work together to run in this marathon. I
think it does.
I could sit here and talk forever about this show. It's so good.
No, it's honestly incredible. Like, the production is, I know I've said that probably every time we talk about a show, I talk about how good the production is. The production IG is awesome, and this is another example. But I think for once, a production IG show, the production is not the star. It's the damn writing, the character writing about how, it's just something about Hibike Euphonium that I love is that it's truly an ensemble piece. It's like every person in UFO is critical to the bigger puzzle of Kitauji and what the story means. Run with the Wind is similar. Everyone's a cog. Everyone matters. Everyone's important, not just because they need 10 people to run in the marathon, because that is like the all-encompassing, right? We need you, like, you as an individual are important because we need you as a body. But their personal stories all build up to this greater narrative of what it means to run, what it means to be fast, what it means to win, and what does winning even mean, right? So Prince does... Are you caught up, Luna? So when last episode, I haven't seen this week's, but last episode when Prince breaks the 30-minute mark in a marathon, like, everyone's like, why are they celebrating? Like, they look like they won. But in reality, it's just they're celebrating their teammate. Like, it recontextualizes winning in sports and like what the hell matters. Like, sports is so bottom line. It's so, everything's based off production, and in sports, which is probably like one of the things that has made me really jaded about sports covering them, is like everything has to be a result. Even when you lose, like, hey, are we gonna get, like, are we tanking to get a good draft pick? Are we losing the right way? Are we playing, like, everything is like hyper analyzed and everything's so bottom line that we just can't enjoy how wonderful sports are. And this show totally gets it.
I did save a GIF of all of them cheering on. I think this was in like episode 8 or 9 or crap. I don't remember where we are. Anyway, I have like a GIF of them all cheering on a group that's like running in this little event. And Haji is just doing this like windmill. I have a GIF of it just like in like a loop, and it's like my favorite thing in the entire world.
Do you know how like fun it is to cheer for your teammates? It's like one of the most underrated joys of life. Like, when your teammates are doing cool shit, or when you see your teammates trying their hardest. Like, I haven't played too much. I love playing sports, and I've only played organized sports a couple times, but like, that's the best, man. Like, when your teammates, I played volleyball, like, when when somebody gets a good dig, or, like, it's just awesome. Like, there's nothing cooler than that. And I love how Run with the Wind just got how ridiculous they look, because we all look ridiculous cheering for a damn team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. It's like at summer camp when everyone's into it, when we're playing something that everyone's into, it is just the most unifying feeling ever.
Also, shout out to Unison Square Garden, because I love them a lot. And I love this opening theme so much. Also, the Shiba Inu might be my favorite character. I love the dog. He's so adorable. No, actually, my favorite character is probably... Oh, crap. Now I have to pick one. They're all so good.
I like 2.
I wanna protect them all.
I like the senpai, and I like the glasses guy.
Yeah, I love him. Well, okay, I like the glasses guy because he's hot, but also I hate myself.
Why? No, lean into it, Flores.
I don't know.
Why do you think I like Rias and DXD, Stella? Luna, just own it.
Oh.
Own it.
Well, obviously,
I like him because he's kind of an asshole.
It's because of her plot. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Both plots.
I don't know why. Like, okay, so Glasses Coon pretty much looks like every asshole I dated in college. So, like...
Yeah, he is an asshole.
I clearly have a type. But I think the most endearing character is the older guy with the ponytail who, like, forces himself to quit smoking.
I love him so much.
I love him.
I like how him and Glasses Coon look out for each other.
They're like they're like a bickering sibling couple. I don't know, like, just they're hilarious.
For Prince is good too.
I love him. He's such a constant mood, though. Like, I want to protect him. And just, like, he, like, passes out and he's like, I've become incorporeal. Like, I am nothing. I do not exist. It's like, oh my god, me. Mood as fuck. Honorable mention is just Honda-san Bookseller. It's just like one joke after another, and the way that they portray foreigners is fucking amazing. Also, it's just a constant mood for anyone that's ever worked in retail ever.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to their joke about Golden Kamui, where it's just like, because they can't actually show the characters, so they just have bags over their heads. But the Sugimoto guy actually has like the scar on like just like drawn onto the bag. So good. Okay, that's it for me.
Okay, mine. Number 5, Ace Attorney, season 2. I just freaking love the character interactions because they almost always make me laugh. I mean, yeah, you can see a lot of the times you can see how the case is going to turn out a mile away, but the character interactions are just a lot of fun. Number 4, Double Decker, Doug and Kirill. Fun buddy cop stuff. Just really really zany stuff, like Blood Blockade without the superpowers, and they're all actually licensed.
Yeah.
Number 3, we discussed this, Bloom Into You. They're all so precious, and I want to protect them all.
Yes.
And just like shower them in hugs and rainbows and warmth, and just I want them all to be happy. Number 2, we also discussed this, Zombieland Saga, just the most banging show this season probably. And my number 1, which is one I'm surprised didn't make Luna's top 5, that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Oh, because it's
the isekai that is saving isekai, because we all need a Rimuru in our life.
Well, 1, it's not over, and 2,
true.
For me to talk about,
it's too core.
Okay, because I actually read the novels for it. So if I were to talk about how much I like it, I'd be spoiling a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't want to do that. So.
Okay, yeah, slime, because it's an OP isekai. Rimuru is just like never phased because he always can beat up whoever it is. But it's done so well, and
it's
the characters
wholesome.
are just so likable and wholesome. Yes.
I'm so upset that I slept on that early and I never got on the train, and I'm like, oh god, I'm missing out.
Get on the train. It may have left the station, but there'll be another one in like 20 minutes. Just get on that train.
I gotta get on.
It's never too late to get on the train.
But not the scary
Except when it
train that
leaves.
takes the lost children to hell.
I was gonna say,
Or
it's not the Mirai train.
Yeah, don't get on that train.
Or that creepy subway car from the Lost Village. Just stay
oh
away from that
God.
one, but get on the one with the light blue-haired guy and the well-endowed ogres and the cool looking goblins. Why did I say I was thinking zombies and goblins. I said zoblins.
Goblins. All right.
New species.
Okay. Last but not least.
Jen,
All right then.
take it away.
So, got a number 5, our favorite archery boys. We've talked a lot about them. Giani, obviously, Giani show have to be. My number 4 is Gridman. Surprising how much I like it. I'm not a big Trigger guy. Other than Kill la Kill, I don't think I've liked a Trigger show, although I haven't seen Little Witch Academia yet, and I've been told that I really like
Oh
that.
my god.
Little Witch is awesome. It's
I've
really
been told
good.
that's right up my alley.
Oh my god.
It is perfect.
It's super wholesome. Like, I think it's probably the most oddly enough, I think it's the most family friendly thing Trigger has ever done, which is crazy.
I was surprised I like Kill la Kill, so I'm willing. I did not like Gurren Lagann and the rest of the Trigger stuff, but I'm coming around, and Gridman has been really, really awesome. If you enjoy Gridman, I really recommend checking out Isla McTeer and Mr. Nice Guy's video on its callbacks to Evangelion. It's it was really enlightening to see how I love Ava, and I've noticed some of it, but not everything that they pointed out, even in structure, how it goes from monster of the day to kind of a more grandiose, dark narrative, like gradually, like the same way Ava did. So I've had a lot of fun with that, and just Rika is so good. And Akane, let me tell you, I've come around on Akane. I didn't like her at first. Now I love Akane. Akane's awesome.
I love Akane too. She is just poetry in motion.
You know, they present her in the beginning as like this kind of really crazy, creepy person, and I was like, it's Trigger. It's really heavy-handed. I don't like this. And they've humanized her in a way that is just incredible. Like,
yeah, at first I thought she was going to be the character that we were like, okay, so she's the asshole basically. Yeah. That we're just gonna like every time we see her, we're just gonna automatically think fuck you. But no, they've done really good job making us like her. I mean, tentatively, considering she's the one who's like wrecking up the place. But at the same time, they're still making us like her, which is really hard to do for like someone who's like so bad.
And she has a reverse harem, so she's awesome.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I love Akane's harem. Run with the Wind will be my number 3, as everything that we've said about it is just stellar, and I actually just saw that it's 2 core, which makes me very happy. So I'm about that. My number 2, which I'm surprised that nobody mentioned, Bunny Senpai.
Yes,
that was one of the.
That should have been my honorable mention.
That was one of the.
I'm enjoying that.
That was one of the shows I had to drop just because I was running out of space and time. But I do want to get back to it eventually. Because
Futaba.
Because I heard it picks up a lot.
Yeah,
it's been. I mean, I probably think Run with the Wind is objectively a better show and the writing is tighter, although I just have so much damn fun with Bunny Senpai, and I love the witty back and forth dialogue, and it's if Monogatari and Oregairu had a baby, it would be Bunny Senpai.
I just love how they're like combining existentialism and just general stuff that teens worry about. Like they were playing like with Laplace's box, Schrodinger's cat, and teen and like social anxiety, which was just the weirdest marriage, but like done so well and just so thought-provoking. I just loved how they played with those themes.
I love Futaba's arc particularly. I mean, I do have some problems with the show, so especially with Futaba's arc, she's my favorite character, and the show doesn't handle things delicately and with touch, and which I kind of feel like. So I give Monogatari a lot of shit, but I do think it treated most of its characters most of the time with respect, and I think Bunny Senpai sometimes suffers from not doing that. So there's a scene where Futaba is talking about how she's not comfortable with her body, that she's very well endowed, and people would look at her funny, and she was never comfortable with that. And she's having this conversation in a bath scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's like you're totally undercutting this wonderful point you're making. And
by showing the thing you're sensitive about.
Exactly. So I kind of put that more on the writers and the storyboarder, more on the storyboarders and the writers, I would say. I don't know, but I mean, other than my gripe in that sense and how they don't really handle those things with touch.
Yeah, there've been other scenes like that where they could have been a little more delicate, a little more diplomatic in their presentation. They're just. I mean, I appreciate the bluntness, but at the same time, some of these issues can be handled just a little more delicately and with a little more respect. I mean, yeah, it's like I like the bluntness in that it touches like on stuff that like people wouldn't generally be comfortable talking about. Like no one wants to talk about like how people hate them or whatever. But so the bluntness is refreshing. At the same time, though, I agree with you, Jan, that it could also be more delicate and diplomatic. So they should find that happy medium somewhere.
Sometimes it works, though. So when Futaba's talking about how she hates herself, and the main guy's not trying to make her love herself overnight. He goes, it's okay to hate yourself sometimes. Like, you'll get over. Like, I actually appreciated that, because I think sometimes anime just wants like a resolution right there. And she's like, I hate myself. And he's like, yeah, that's part of it. And it's like, it's kind of it's kind of validating these kinds of feelings of self-loathing that I know a lot of people have, and I really appreciated that aspect of it too. So when it does good, it does bad. When it does bad, it does good. All in all, a really great character story with a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying it. Kimi no Se.
I do want to get back to it eventually because it's by the author of Just Because.
I love
which is
Just
another
Because
show
so
I
much.
only saw half of.
I love angsty teenagers, dude. Like, you give me angst and romance, I am there. You sign me up for angst and romance, like, which is weird because my OTPs aren't very angsty. I mean, well, I guess Okakuri's really angsty.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But Kumire's not. Yeah, no, Okakuri's like, and Kuromaya's like angsty. I love angst, man. Angst is good. My number one show of fall 2018 is Bloom Into You. I cannot say enough about how good this show is. This show has been, in the beginning of fall, everything was kind of close. Like, I wasn't really sure like which show was going to break away.
Mm-hmm.
And Bloom Into You just took off sprinting. And I've been so happy with it. No pun
I would
intended.
pretty much say that about Run with the Winds. If it hadn't been for the just, I don't know. To me, it's pretty much a tie between the two.
They're both great. They're like, it's just such a great season, and it's been a really good year in anime. Even my honorable mentions, Zombieland, like, what a great show that didn't make my list, and Iruzuku, which has been kind of disappointing, but PA Works like makes it so damn pretty.
Yeah, it's like it hasn't quite glass slipped for me yet.
Nothing's happening. It's just a show about nothing.
I think the only thing that makes up for it is the time travel aspect and the magic. So, and I think the characters are slightly more interesting than they were in Glasslip.
The show needs a damn pulse.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it hasn't quite Glasslip for me yet. The biggest problem with Glasslip is like literally nothing happens. Like I. Normally I would say, well, spoilers. Well, there's nothing to spoil because nothing fucking happens. So many moments where you think like the shoe's gonna drop and then it doesn't, and you're just like, I give up. And why did I watch all 12 of these episodes?
Why? I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because PA Works.
Yeah, the animation's beautiful.
Their shows, they always have. Like, for their shows, always for me, the first half is a little on the what's going on, like, when is this going to get real side, and then the back half hits home so hard. Shirobaka was like that for me. Hanasaku Iroha was like that for me. Most recently, Sakura Quest, which was like one of my favorites.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. There became a point in Sakura Quest that I was crying every damn week. Because it just kept hitting me like over and over emotion. Because I love Community and stuff like that. So like it just really got in the feel. So I'm gonna get the benefit of the doubt that it's going to find itself. But
I will say though,
it ain't it, Chief.
Hanasaku Iroha, which is my favorite PA Work show, got me from the beginning. I've seen it.
I was love-hate with it. I think until like episode 6 is when I bought in.
I think I've seen it almost as many times as you've seen UFO.
You know what's funny about I've probably only seen UFO 5 times, and I thought that was a lot, and apparently it's not that much.
I know people who've seen their favorite shows like 20 plus times.
Exactly.
Not even kidding.
I watch like every June 5th I will watch the Agata episode because I have to watch the hike. It's the anniversary. But other than that, I try to watch new stuff. I'm not a rewatcher.
Second favorite is Nagi no Asakara because it takes place in the ocean, and I love the ocean, and I really, really wish that I could also live in the ocean. But then I also wonder about like the logistics of that. Like, how are
I wish I was a fish.
Like, how are they just not wet all the time? Like, how do they cook food?
Enna.
Is like everything
Aquaman,
in their
that's
house
why.
covered in Enna? Like their bed sheets and stuff? Like, what the hell?
Let me tell you something. Us talking about Enna, we're covering 2011 like it's no one's business. Which, by the way, plug tomorrow, 12 Days of Anime. My first video is on Nagi no Asakura. So if you're listening to this podcast, check that out. It's actually, that was supposed to be my very first video. I saw Nagi Asu and I wanted to write about it, and I did write about it, and I never made the video. So I kind of reworked the script into however I write now, and it's about Chisaki and how she embodies change, and how change in that anime is done so wonderfully. I love how they portray it. So
I wish you had done a 25 days of anime, so that way for day 18, just hear me out. You could have just done 18 if. I mean, the marketing and idea writes itself. I don't even care what the rest of the shows are. Just day 18 if.
We got to do that next year. I'm committing.
Oh God, that show.
That's a show for another episode.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we need to wrap it up because we all got to go to bed.
Yeah, it's
work
getting to
in
be
the
that
morning.
time.
We got lots to do tomorrow. So anyway, it's been a great year for anime.
Very.
I think. Obviously, After the Rain is my god tier for this year.
Is that your anime of the year?
Absolutely.
Matt, what's yours?
It has to be just Chio School Road for me, because of just like, I cannot remember the last time an anime or almost any show had made me laugh so hard and so consistently. And like, if I had been having a bad day, that was what picked me up when it came on. It was just, oh my God, I love that show.
I love hearing people talk about that way about anime comedies, because we don't have a lot of them, and I really want that genre to expand. So like hearing you, I want to watch it. Like, you've sold me on the show.
Watch the dub. Just don't forget the sub. Just watch the dub.
I'm there for it. And I just, we need more anime comedies. Like Konosuba was awesome, and then Hinamatsuri was awesome.
I love Konosuba.
More, please.
By the way, I have the Nendroid of darkness getting attacked by the cabbage.
Yeah, I agree. There needs
best purchase ever.
We need more comedy. That's why I like Double Decker, because it's just sort of like a little bit sitcom-y, and the narrator is freaking hilarious. But yeah, like that's why I like action shows with it's a comedy in them, because for that balance. And then just slice of life comedies in general are great. Like No Reen's one of my favorite shows ever, and there's sex joke, physical and verbal sex jokes, but at the same time it is just a good laugh besides that. Just get more comedy out there.
Yep, I agree. We need more. # more comedy out there.
We should probably tell them like where they can find us to interact with us and tell us how much we suck and whatnot.
Tell us how our trash our opinions are.
Yes.
So
engage us, please.
You can follow the show at Dubterfuge on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We try to upload most Wednesdays at 1:30 Central Time. And they are obviously all episodes are available on multiple platforms.
Didn't realize we were scheduled now. Awesome.
Give these good folks a 5-star review on iTunes or whatever
please,
podcast.
That really, really helps us out.
We would love
so much.
We'd love to hear from you, please.
Being in the podcast biz, being an industry veteran, you don't understand how volatile ratings can be. And if you have one bad take, some asshole, like let's say some guy doesn't like Liz and the Bluebird and they just really don't disagree with my take, they might just spite the show and give 1 star. I know this because it happens on my sports show all the time.
I've seen it happen.
So your 5-star rating matters a lot, especially when trying to acquire sponsorships and beating the Apple algorithm. So please help these good folks by giving them a 5-star review to balance out all the mean people who may give a spiteful one. And because they're good, and
please like and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Oh yeah, subscribing is huge.
And you can follow me on pretty much all the social medias: Twitter, Instagram, applications that haven't even come out yet. At Shtera, that's SHTERRRA.
Also Holiday Wars Luna. I'm online way too much. So if you want to just see me shitpost a ton of anime memes and occasionally rant about politics, check. I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Don't apologize.
Be you.
Own it.
You can follow me on Twitter at Matthew H. Voss. I mostly tweet overexcitedly about shows and the voice actors in those shows about how awesome I think they are. I try to be mostly positive. I have an Instagram that I never use at Voma Hanu. I somehow still have followers there. Crazy people do exist, I guess. Kidding, I love you. I love all 17 of you. And yeah, those are my two socials.
So you can follow me. I have 2 Twitter accounts. One as my personal /sports account. You can follow me at GNavas103 for that one. If you want my anime account, at Subtitled Anime, one word. If you are a basketball fan and if you are interested in the Miami Heat in particular, you can follow me at MI Heatbeat for my podcast, website, blog. We're part of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. We do lots of fun stuff over there. And I also have a YouTube channel, Subtitled Anime on YouTube. I will be doing 12 days of anime. So every day for 12 days until Christmas, I will post a different video. I've worked very hard on this. I hope you guys enjoy everything from UFO to Liz and the Bluebird to Review Starlight to everything and anything. I'm branching out from the topics that you're used to me covering to other ones like Steins Gate and Ghost in the Shell and Boruto and kind of things that you wouldn't really expect from my channel. So I really guys hope you enjoy that. You could also follow me on Instagram at GNavas103. I like to post and be artistic. Please follow me. Come friends and tell me how trash my takes are on Twitter.
Yes, tell us all about how we are trash. We would look forward to that engagement.
And followed. And that's our show. New episodes drop every 2 weeks on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Central Time on YouTube. The show is available for download on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Podcast Addict, and Stitcher. Follow us on Twitter at Dubterfuge for more updates. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Now this is podcasting.